free. It's not up to the government. It's up to you and me.
Remember Bob's Little Sports Shop for firearms and firearm safety. Call 856-881-7575 or bobslittle.sportshop.com. Paid for by Bob's Little Sports Shop, Glassboro, New Jersey.
Hey, it's Greg with Kale & Company. Every Friday night, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, is giving all customers a bigger payout on select NBA first bets. First Bets lets you get in on all the action from the opening tip. You can bet on things like who will score the first basket, which team will be the first to 15 points, and so much more. And best of all, you don't have to wait the whole game to see if you won. Just look for Friday First in the FanDuel app to find your profit boosts. Visit FanDuel.com/Greg, FanDuel.com/Greg to claim your first Friday First profit boost. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 1210 WPHT. 21 and over, present in PA. Opt-in required. Max wager amount applies. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-perceived mild to moderate hearing loss only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
Life without hearing aids can be frustrating.
Andy, did you hear what she just said?
No, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
I said I got the promotion, Dad. I thought you would be excited.
You're missing out on the important moments of your life because you just can't hear them. It's time to try the Jabra Enhanced Select 500, our smallest, most advanced hearing aid. With proprietary speech clarity technology, even the most complex listening situations like a noisy restaurant are crisp and clear. And you can get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional care you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. Get Jabra Enhance over-the-counter hearing aids and stop missing the important moments. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
This is the new mob. This is the new mafia.
Well, they are a crime family. Chivarella and Conahan, all by their lonesome selves. They indeed shape a crime family. The old days, it was La Cosa Nostra. Maybe they'll call themselves the La Courthouse Nostra.
You're right.
Anger fills the airwaves. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania explodes when people hear that men they elected and trusted to judge their children had profited off their incarceration.
All right, I'll play you the mom coming up here, too. Dom Giordano Show. That's the infamous Kids for Cash. These scumbags who put kids in situations, some of whom wildly disproportionate to what they have done, and Joe Biden lets them go. I'll tell you one nugget I found seeing all these pardons, particularly of the scumbag judge, and that is that some of this, the trigger was COVID. In other words, the trigger was the people they let out, quote, nonviolent during COVID. He was one of them. That seemed to, in their mind, trigger something. Oh, you get on the list now because it was COVID related. I want to know, not that I don't think he's a scumbag too, but I do think there was a judicial wrong done here. What about Bill Cosby? Is Bill Cosby up for, would Joe Biden parole Bill Cosby? Well, he's about what? I don't know if he's 85, 86. He's blind, legally blind at least. He signed that agreement, as you know. We've had Bruce Castor on many times. Binding legal agreement. The judge didn't like, though, that the cause was calling out criminal elements in the black community, so he revoked everything. And we are where we are today. I don't want to do a whataboutism, but there's got to be more to this method, and I think Biden's going to pardon more people, including family members of one shape or another. And he's basically saying, and he's right, what the hell are you going to do about it? So we can't even have people that are exhibiting urgency, leadership on the drones over Jersey. I guess the issue of should we curtail the pardoning, it would have to be done constitutionally, the pardoning power of presidents or even take it away. Biden is making, as he does with everything else, he and his crime family, grabbing up everything, check the Chinaware, the jewelry, and everything else in the White House when they leave. I'm sure they'll be backing the truck up. Here's the mom, Mrs. Fonzo, whose kid was apparently set off to jail, as far as I remember this case.
Actions.
In a manner that was wildly out of proportion and ended up committing suicide. When I went back to take a look at it today, there were several kids that committed suicide in these settings. So what did this guy do that would have his sentence commuted? I gave you the COVID connection for some reason. But you know what the other side says in this, and it's the same thing they say to the officer killed over at Temple, to his family. Well, is that going to bring your son back? Hey, Mom, is that going to bring your son back because this guy's getting out of jail sooner? This is the insult on top of it with these people. This is what they engage in. And we heard all the time, isn't it a fair thing to say at this point that you have to be completely unreasonable not to get that Joe Biden was never a, quote, nice guy. Well, you know, Joe is a nice guy, even if you differ with him. He's never been that. He's been a political animal his whole entire creation, the whole family. And he's stupid on top of it. But the pardoning power. Here's the mom, Dan.
Actions. You need to be. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Do you remember my son? An all-star wrestler? He's good. He shot himself in the heart. You scumbag.
A heartbroken, really an outraged mother lashing out at former Judge Mark Civarello.
All right, that was the other judge involved in it, Civarello, not the guy. I don't even have to say their name. Who cares what their names are? You get the plot here. This is Joe Biden striking again. Massive, the number of people that were sent out. Biden's approval rating somehow or another, I just saw in a Fox poll, was 41%. Who are these 41% of morons in America? Based on what? All right, as far as the drone situation, we're going to have on the mayor of a Jersey town right in the center of the action. He's outraged at yesterday. And when they bring this John Kirby guy in, just the cockiness. He's the master dodger. Now, he's better than the French woman at being able to be deceptive, I guess. But it wasn't so good yesterday seeing Kirby trying to deceive us on this and to tell us. And Van Drew all week has been saying the same thing. How do they know we're not at risk when they say they don't know anything about this? But they know we're not at risk on this. They know that. And Homeland Security now trying to tell us, well, that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft. All right, let's say that half of them are. What about the others? The military people reporting these in those military areas in Jersey, they're saying these are drones. They're military. The Coast Guards, the various functions inland that are reporting this also, they've reported sightings. They're not wild-eyed people out there saying it. This is one of the most egregious cases we've seen of government saying, we don't care what you're saying. You're not going to do anything about it. And you know who one of the key players is here? Mayor Pete, who wants to run for president. Again, Mayor Pete, he's the head of the Department of Transportation, which intersects with the Federal Aviation. So a brilliant guy today, Chuck DeCaro. He is a guy who was U.S. Air Force, later served with the 20th Special Forces Group Airborne, and he knows a lot about airplanes, helicopters, and the like. He writes at The Blaze today, this Chuck DeCaro. He says what we ought to do, that Governor Murphy has the power to do. He says that in the National Guard in New Jersey, they have these UH-60L Blackhawks, which have long-range fuel tanks, long range. He says they ought to be in those spaces. They ought to attempt to follow, at least, these drones, find their landing place, or at least a trail to it. They could then shoot them down if it's over terrain that is not, extremely inhabited, or drop an A-22 cargo net over them, which would either catch it, disable it, or do something of that nature. Why in the world do we see this level of disinterest and arrogance? I would argue it's probably not a massive conspiracy or anything like that. It's the end of their time. It's just that they feel, why are we going to get involved in it? What's the upside? We don't care. We'll just say anything in this. We'll just run out the clock. I don't know what the conspiracy would be with this. We've already been through this. It doesn't appear to be U.S. military. Almost no one is saying
it's aliens.
Well, if we're going to go down that path, then then they ought to admit that this appears to be outside anything normal, something like that.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. But I don't believe that's the case as much as we've seen it again and again and again. It's just that it's usually not this obvious that they're saying, what are you going to do about it? And I would tell you this, the media is already starting to get tired of this, except for talk radio here and Fox News. They're on to other things. I just don't see how you can go on. It's why we were calling Jeff Van Drew again today, because it's not resolved. This is still every bit as hot as it was the other day. And now you see people out there talking about shooting them down themselves. Can't do that. That's big trouble. See, the system will come after you if you do something. In addition to that, what we're seeing play out with these now, in addition to that impulse, is as it gets more tired, then the media just says, well, let's move away. Let's go on to the next shiny object. You would think over this last week or so, there would be more clarity on this one way or the other, that something would break, there'd be some leverage on this, and there appears to be none. It appears to be we're still just going down this path. All right, let me give you the phone lines to get in today. Mark Squila will be here, Councilman in Philadelphia, at 1:30. Look, I like him. It's not going to be a dust-up. I just want you to hear someone publicly, because in Philadelphia, if the councilman, and it is in his district, doesn't go along with it, it's called council prerogative, then you can't do it. He went along with it pretty quickly. Doesn't it come down to this? They don't believe these people in Chinatown. They're telling them, hey, shut up. It's not going to affect you. So just stop. We don't care. It's not going to affect you. There's really what they're saying is, look, in their mind, there's a greater good here. We have people that want to do this that actually have clout in Philadelphia. You don't. So this isn't on the merits. It's not on anything like that. It's on one thing. Who are the groups that have power and who are those that don't? And to me, the argument I've been making is that they say all the time they don't want neighborhoods developed. That's gentrification, white people moving in and all that. You hear that constantly. Yet, when a minority group, isn't that the other thing involved in this? Asians are not really a minority group. Well, let's talk about that today. I'll ask Mark Squid. They're not a minority group. They are white adjacent. If these were a true, in the minds of progressives, minority group, and they were against it this fiercely, you know what you would hear. Is any of the ownership of the Sixers that I look at, aren't they all white guys? Aren't they all billionaires or close to billionaires? One guy is even on the Shark Tank occasionally. These are fat cat white guys extraordinaire. They're going against a minority group. Yeah, but this minority group is not minority. Why don't the progressives ought to just say it? Stop with the white adjacent. Just say you'll never be a minority group. You're too successful. We don't think there are enough of you here, so you're not going to qualify as it. If you were a minority group, this probably wouldn't happen. Now, I'm not saying they don't have a point of the economics of this potentially and all that's going on there and all. And I just saw a report this morning that fewer than 40% of people that say they're Sixers fans would go to the game there by public transit. Now you could argue, well, 8 or 9 years from now, that'll change. We'll see. He's coming up at 1:30. All right, today, though, Friday the 13th. So what we are looking for, Henry and I got on this after the show yesterday, we're looking for, and it's all in the call, that all-time superstition, but extra credit to a sports superstition. Say the Eagles playing the Steelers, big game this Sunday. What is it that is a superstition or a ritual, because a ritual can kind of get into a superstition. I told Henry yesterday mine was, particularly basketball, I am guarding Steph Curry when we get toward the end of the game. And I'm trying to influence the movement of whatever Sixer would be guarding him to do exactly how I would play him.
Through the TV, right?
Through the TV,
yeah.
Yes, because I'm not letting him shoot and beat me from the outside. He can drive the ball to the basket fairly well, but that's what he's going to do. And I have 6 fouls on top of it. So let's see what he wants to do. But he's not going to beat me from the outside. I don't care what I have to do.
You're just face-to-face with the screen here. I like the visual.
Pretty
down
close.
in the defensive stance.
I'm in a crouch, and I flop at times if I really get annoyed with the call.
You got the hand up and everything. You can't have that hand down,
exactly,
man down.
Exactly, yes. The cursing is beyond belief in moments. That's another ritual. So, Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, I'll do one that I've been trying to get over for years, and that's wearing an Eagles jersey or any sort of Eagles paraphernalia during an Eagles game. I felt for years that if I wore a jersey, it started when I got a Nnamdi Asomugha jersey.
Oh, my
and because he was such a complete bust and they stunk, I thought, oh my gosh, it's my fault. It's my fault that they're losing. So for years, I've been trying to overcome this phobia that every time I wear a jersey or anything, they will lose.
You going to wear it on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll wear one on Sunday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm marking that down.
How many jerseys do you have?
2.
Oh, that's it?
Josh Sweat and Devontae Smith.
Wow, okay. I expected like 40.
Those are curious choices. Josh Sweat jersey?
Josh Sweat's my favorite player.
Oh, my God.
The old George Costanza, he's aiming for 19, so he doesn't have to watch it the entire season.
No, I have the 84.
Okay.
I don't have that. I don't like how he switched to 19. I got 84.
I was saying that you have 19 jerseys, so you can go.
No. I thought you were talking about Josh Sweat's number.
And Dan, what's yours?
So Dom, can we also do? I'm not doing one, but I'm just wondering famous superstitions of people. What was it? Piazza that had the weird one with the. Was it man thong that he'd wear for every game or something like that?
Oh, no, that was Giambi.
Giambi.
No, the superstition is this, that if you're in a hitting streak or if you're breaking out of a hitting streak slump, you wear this thong. I think it was a gold thong. Once you get out of it, then you got to continue wearing the thong because now you're hot.
It's a weird superstition. So we will take those as answers, not necessarily ones that you particularly believe in. But
right, exactly. Somebody like that, that's a great insight.
I'm going to stick with the theme, though, of ones I believe in. One that I strictly live by is the broken mirror theory, that if a mirror is broken, it's bad luck to come for 7 years. I am super sketch about that.
Thank you, Maisie.
I have broken multiple mirrors in the last, decade plus, so I got some years to go.
Okay.
And then an old Polish tradition, Dom, that there's the old superstition that money actually has legs. So if you put your wallet or a bag with money on the ground, there is the potential for the money to jump out and run away. So we Polish people don't put our bags. Wow. Well, we put our bags on the ground. I never put my wallet on the ground, though, in case that the money jumps out and runs away.
That is unbelievable. I didn't, of course, talk about the Maloiks or Malokes. With Italians, we got all that. But just one point back to the basketball. I don't want to talk sports here. I want to get going. But if you're a good shooter, Steph Curry triggered this. You miss 7 in a row, shoot the 8th. Why? You're a good shooter. You're due. If you hit 7 in a row, shoot the 8th. Why? You're a good shooter. You're hot. I always tell people that. Shoot the ball.
Yeah, you got to have a short-term memory. You got to forget the misses.
Right. No.
Only the makes.
Are you a guy that has to, before you get off the court, make one more?
Yes.
That
was going to be mine today.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I went with the Eagles last second, but yeah, I got to make the last shot before I leave the court.
That's
or else I'm going to lose my powers.
That is very good. All right, so it's 855. It might be some golfing superstitions, too. It might be like Dan's. It might be an ethnic superstition. By the way, a little update to the moment here, at least as I have it. I didn't refresh, but Scott of Mount Laurel is pulling away in that contest. He's up against the biggie, too. Bruce in the Northeast, I have him 62.8 to 37.2. But I think that's a little while ago. I didn't.
I think it is wrapped. So let me get the final here. Yes. No, 35 minutes left. I guess I had it ending during the show. I apologize for that. Right. So 1250 is when this vote ends. So get to @DomShow1210 right now. We'll have our next matchup coming up at 1 p.m. But Dom, Scott and Mount Laurel taking on Bruce and Northeast. You just said that. Scott and Mount Laurel, 62.8%. As you stated, 37.2% is indeed the accurate number. Scott's leading Bruce, surprisingly.
Well, Scott was
in my opinion, surprisingly.
Because
it's very surprising.
Because I love Scott as a caller, but Bruce has such a recognizable, voice that I think maybe more might recognize his name just because, Scott's a great content caller, but Bruce has that recognizable,
I thought this would be way closer.
So Bruce ought to call in. I did think it was going to be really close, too. Bruce, call in. It won't hurt you. Who knows what will happen here in the 11th hour. Of course, the finalists will be next week, at least we think. There's a lot of matches here. All right, here's how you jump on board. 855-839-1210, AT&T. And Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. Coming up, who is J.D. Vance bringing to the Army-Navy game on tomorrow, on Saturday? And the question, will this person get applauded when announced? Which I think that, well, first of all, will they be announced? They should be. I think that Trump and Vance will be having this person in the middle between them. And will there be applause when people see who it is? 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Phil Almquist giving the Kale and Company flag to Jeremy. He's the recipient for the week.
You promise you'll fly it on your truck and you'll return it next week.
100%.
Okay. All right.
You have other people in the hopper stocker, so to speak, or how can people request the flag?
It probably won't be till January until you can do it, but we have other people. If you want to fly the flag high on your truck or house or whatever, you have to display it. It can't sit in the back of your truck like it did for Kale. Send me an email, greg.stocker@odyssey.com.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Enhance your home's curb appeal with new doors and windows from Emmons Roofing and Siding.
Our high-quality products offer style, security, and energy efficiency.
And you can choose from a wide selection of styles and finishes from major brands like Anderson or Provia.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us online at callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. Side question today. Of course, Friday the 13th. Hit us with that superstition. Hit us with that ritual could be sports related. That certainly would be good. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Here is Senator Chris Coons from Delaware, cut 11. He thinks, and this guy's a religious guy too, he thinks Biden should be considering even more pardons.
I think the president's got to weigh a lot of different factors. How seriously he believes Kash Patel, the nominee to be FBI director, and the other nominees to lead the Trump administration's law enforcement agencies, how seriously they are determined to go after their enemies list, and whether or not some of those who are on that list and who are reasonably foreseeably going to be investigated want a pardon. If they talk through this issue and decide that there's no one who is seeking a pardon, that will lead them down one path. If there's others who are petitioning urgently for some relief, I think you should seriously consider it.
Yeah, let's just continue to do this farce. All right. I'm surprised there are not more calls. This is a bipartisan thing. Too many pardons, too much nonsense going on here, particularly with this judge. And some of it seemed to be triggered in some of the stuff in the White House. Well, these were the people that were left out on COVID. I'm giving you a glaring example. Shouldn't Bill Cosby be pardoned? What's the good of keeping this guy in jail, right? You know what? Well, you know you can't do that. We remember during COVID, Cosby had to stay in jail when others were let out to go on homebound because we didn't want too many people together. We talked about that then. Not that Cosby's a shining example of anything. By the way, the stripper in the Duke lacrosse game, and I didn't go back and look it up, could it have been 1996 that we were talking about it? I remember living through that whole era of this Duke lacrosse case, how every day for months there was something out there about it. And look, these guys and some of the things they were engaged in, not exactly what you want to be seeing, but clearly, well, the woman who was a stripper is in jail for murder. She's admitted yesterday that there was no credibility to this. It was made up. There was nothing. Nobody raped her. There wasn't anything of that regard. Okay? And I remember at Duke, and I remember how many of these phonies, Coach K, a guy who recruited, shall we say, suspect ball players also, came into his own condemning the Duke lacrosse players. I remember the prosecutor lost his job as prosecutor because of the phoniness of the prosecution. And I think a lot of people might say the Duke lacrosse case was a turning point when more and more people adamantly went after the institutions, be it the media, be it places like Duke, be it just any number of things, who just rushed to judgment. They were going to go after these guys. They didn't like them. They were all white, lacrosse. They represented, in their mind, that word privilege. And it's on my mind because we see, again, that it is surfacing in the WNBA, and people are saying that Caitlin Clark is, I'm looking at a piece today. She's bent her knee to the politically correct, the woke stuff, and she's going to find that's not going to stop it. In other words, you can't dabble in this and say, yes, I have privilege. That's not enough. It has to go on and on and on and on again. There still will be resentment. Momentarily it might get the mob off you to say that. That's exactly what they want. But the demand never goes away. And Megyn Kelly has been particularly on this with Caitlin Clark. All right. Yes. Thank you, Dan. And I was going to go to this next. This woman, Carrie Champion, is obviously, I could put in just like a cardboard person sitting in that chair and play AI. She's put on CNN to be dumb and provocative at the same time, to just joust with Scott Jennings, who's flicking all these people away. So here's last night, Scott Jennings, Carrie Champion, and Jennings making the point that a lot of people are making now. I don't know. I still like Caitlin Clark. I like her game. I like her. She's still fine as a person, but it's like, come on. This is a sellout. When you go down the privilege thing to get people off you, that emboldens them to see, it does exist, that white privilege is a thing, meaning that anybody white, no matter how low their station socioeconomically or whatever, they have privilege. That's exactly what they're talking about here. That's what the meaning is. That's what she's copping to here. All right, here's Scott Jennings cooking last night on CNN.
Sorry, I just lost my tab.
Okay.
Here it is right here.
Why is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something that's smart, truth, and factual?
She's referring to the white privilege comments. There.
Yes.
Conservatives allegedly bullying her for it.
Yeah.
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say because there isn't my truth or your truth.
Great point.
There's just the truth. And when you start using phrases like that, it tells me that
That's not true.
Your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But, the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about having respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean,
to
what did they build? What do you mean, what did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
The reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in
What?
And so,
No,
Scott, stop it. You stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickie's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickie's arena. Let me just tell you.
It says
The NBA pays for this. That's why it's still up. They do it as part of their checking a box. People don't want to see it. Now, I love basketball, so I'm going to watch it. And I think if you really love basketball, you might see the women's game as something that a lot of males were able to do in high school where you can't do what NBA players are doing. They're doing stuff that's just beyond belief. So you can identify with the women's game a little bit more. But not enough people do. Even with Caitlin Clark and this surge, they're losing huge amounts of money. People don't want to watch it by and large. That's the point Scott Jennings was making. But what he said in the beginning, talking about my truth, as soon as you say that, look, there are some things where it's a judgment call and one person sees it differently than the other. But going around saying my truth is ridiculous. All right. Scott's call here.
No, Gary is what I meant.
Oh, Gary. Oh, yeah, Gary's. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, we'll go to Gary here in a moment. Gary of Newtown. Well, let me go to him right now. He's at Mulligan's. He really is at Mulligan's. Hey, Gary, how are things at Mulligan's?
Blah, 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 blah. Gary,
okay. Someone's
give
angry,
me another shot down here.
Well, nice of you. So now you're drowning your sorrows. You are not just Mr. Gracious.
Go from Exton. Go from Joe from Exton. Go from Joe from Exton.
All right.
So what Gary's talking about here is we have our Dom Time 2024 Caller of the Year contest.
Yes.
And we just had our first round matchup wrap up yesterday. Our second round matchup wrap up yesterday between Gary in Newtown and Robert in Bensalem. And regrettably, Gary fell to Robert in Bensalem. But if you're just tuning in, Gary and Robert met for breakfast the other day. And they're kind of throwing somewhat of an endorsement towards Joe of Exton. So that's why you hear a drunken Gary now drowning his sorrows, re-endorsing Joe of Exton as he was regrettably defeated by Robert in Bensalem.
Well, very nice of you.
Joe. We love you, Joe.
And what's your answer to the side question today, drunken Gary?
Can I ask one request, please? Can we have a losers bracket so maybe I can win that?
Oh my, yeah, it's the NIT of the Caller of the Year. Okay.
No. Say hi to Johnny Z for us.
Yeah, no double elimination.
All right, so it's what do you do when somebody's kicking a field goal?
Well, if you remember the show Mork from Ork, Mork used to do the Vulcan symbol with his hands, and we do that as our family. We make two V's out of the Vulcan grip, and we go neek, 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 neek at the television while they're trying to kick a field goal.
Very nice. I think that's probably pretty effective. All right.
Work for their field goals. Huh?
Now, that's everybody has their own. That's a pretty unusual one, but absolutely. So 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless, hit us with one of those. Man, Mulligan's got a lot of play here. It's constant. How many months do we have till we're at Mulligan's? 855-839-1210. Jump on board. A little bit later, we're going to talk with Mark Squeala, the councilman involved with the arena thing. And we're also going to talk with the mayor. I think it's Mine Hill, New Jersey, Mayor Sam Morris. Man, these guys in Jersey really want to face Kirby. Can you imagine this guy just dismissing everything that's going on here?
This guy wants to talk too, Dom. I emailed him, and within 1 minute, the mayor got back to me saying, hey, Let's do 2. By the way, go Birds.
Perfect. All right, we're looking forward to that. What is it? I give you my theory, and it's straight out of it. It's sort of the end of this administration, the arrogance, the lack of curiosity over this, and just dismissiveness. It's all what we've seen many times. Is that why they're not reacting to this? They just don't care. They don't care. The American people care. And then if you holler at them enough, what do? Rather than actually doing their job, they dismiss you. They mock you. They make up stuff. They spend more time making up stuff than just saying, here's what we're going to do to this. I haven't even heard Trump on this too much. I'm kind of surprised. I thought he'd be all over it. All right, who's coming with Trump and J.D. Vance to the Army-Navy game? Daniel Penny will be there with them. So will they announce Daniel Penny if he's standing there in the middle of the two of them when they, go to the booth? And when people see who it is, he's unmistakable, the curly hair, the whole thing. Will he get cheered at the Army-Navy game? And then what will the media say? I mean, I'd love to get him here for an event. I know the powers that be might say, the security that you would. True. I just saw this, and you can find it on Twitter all over the place. The new head of Enron. He's got 2 no-neck guys as his security. He gets out of a vehicle really close to a building. He's turning the corner, and there's some idiot woman standing there with a meringue pie, hiding behind the pillar a little bit. As he turns the corner, smashes it right in his face. Now, if she had been wanting to do even more harm, apparently she would have succeeded. Look, I don't know about Enron now. I'm not following it. But you have no right to assault people. I mean, you just got to get out of this mentality that you have any right, even with a pie in the face. They subdued her, and I haven't seen any more about it. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's talk Captain Chucky's Christmas and New Year's Day. Counting down, busy as ever. Need help? Well, this last month, we've been telling you with Captain Chucky's. They can help your coming and your going, your holiday table. And if you're going somewhere to a gathering, well, stock up at Captain Chucky's. They are known for their fantastic crab cakes, wild-caught shrimp, and great soups. But now Captain Chucky's is teaming up with some well-known family-owned businesses to offer some other great products. Captain Chucky's and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia have launched their newest invention. You got to try this, the Bang Bang Jumbo Lump, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread. Now, it's available exclusively for now at most Captain Chucky's locations. They also have, though, the Taste of Philly section in most stores that carry the following family-owned items: Stock's Pound Cakes, Marciano Specialty Breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen of Roxborough, Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies, Derby's Philadelphia, Famous Clams Casino, and the Vera Pasta Company of Westchester. They produce Captain Chucky's own line of pasta, including their 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, bangin' crab, and finally their shrimp scampi ravioli, and their own jarred blush sauce. Check out the website, local Captain Chucky's too, and don't forget me, the Dom Roll. You got to get the Dom Roll on your table. So there's a location near you. Just visit the website, welovecrabcakes.com, welovecrabcakes.com. And if you're headed to the shore, don't forget Captain Chucky's is there too. Big presence at the shore. Visit CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-perceived mild to moderate hearing loss only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
Life without hearing aids can be frustrating.
Andy, did you hear what she just said?
No, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
I said I got the promotion, Dad. I thought you would be excited.
you're missing out on the important moments of your life because you just can't hear them. It's time to try the Jabra Enhanced Select 500, our smallest, most advanced hearing aid. With proprietary speech clarity technology, even the most complex listening situations like a noisy restaurant are crisp and clear. And you can get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional care you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. Get Jabra Enhance over-the-counter hearing aids and stop missing the important moments. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
As the White House downplays the threat posed by those drones spotted in our region, New Jersey leadership pushes for greater urgency. New Jersey sues gunmaker Glock over firearms that can be adapted to fire like a machine gun. And the Sixers host the Indiana Pacers tonight at 7. First game action for both teams since Sunday.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
For the area's finest dining experience with fabulous cuisine, extensive wine list, and waterfront views of the Philly skyline, visit the River Winds Restaurant in West Deptford, New Jersey. Enjoy entrees that feature certified Black Angus steaks and the freshest seafood while overlooking the Delaware River. River Winds can host your next special event. They'll plan your holiday party, family gathering, or corporate meeting in one of their newly renovated waterfront rooms, each with a private deck. For an incredible dining experience or special event, theriverwindsrestaurant.com.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9-to-5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, time. 855-839-1210. You know, it's not a good idea to wait to the end of the show. You got a good one. Superstition Friday the 13th, sports superstition. Hit us with it. It gets crowded at the end, and some people we can't get on. All right, so we're talking about, among other things, the drones continuing, but also just the sheer arrogance, Joe Biden, in one day, the commutations, the pardons, and he's going to do a lot more. While at the same time, he cannot and will not function as a president in any other manner, including doing something about what we're seeing here. All right, Mike in Fork River, New Jersey is next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Mike, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon to you. I'll tell you my story last night. So it's about 7:50 going on 8 o'clock, and I couldn't remember whether I locked my truck or not in the driveway. So I go out of the house, I check my truck, I look up in the sky, and the moon's out last night, stars are out. It was a crystal clear sky. So as I'm turning around to go back in the house, I hear this like low humming sound. I look up, and there's a drone flying down my driveway about 100 and maybe 150 feet in the air, heading towards Route 9, heading north, going towards the ocean. And you could see it as clear as day. It's about 5 feet. Mm-hmm. It has about a 5-foot span to it, so that's about its footprint. Four blades, one at each corner. It had a red and it was a red and a green light blinking on it, and it was flying through the sky like it was driving down the road, smooth, not drifting, not going up, not going down, just straight.
So, Mike, am I to believe you or the Honorable Rear Admiral John Kirby?
Well, I know what I saw last night, and I know what a drone looks like, and I know what an airplane looks like, because I have airplanes and helicopters flying over my property all the time. This was a drone.
So what do you want done? What do you want done, Mike, in Jersey? What do you want them to do?
I don't know what them guys can do. They're pretty much useless. They won't let us. They won't let us. They won't let us shoot them down. They're useless. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you, Mike. That's the question that's still out there. And thank God you have people like Jeff Van Drew who they came after him. You know, after the initial thing. Now we know that Iranian ship did leave its port. Now that we know it's out in the ocean with the drones. I told you the best that I've seen is this guy writing at the Blaze saying that Murphy does have the power. The helicopter could be up in these zones, or several helicopters. They have long-range fuel tanks. They could follow, and if they got near the ocean or an uninhabited area, relatively uninhabited, they can drop a cargo net over it. They can shoot it down then. Yeah, I don't believe these drones are spraying stuff on people. I think that's the contrails. That's what people are seeing. But this is what's going to continue to happen. The only thing is this. Look at how far this week we are into it. Is the rage intensifying, or is the other side just looking you in the face and saying there's nothing you can do about it, or are they winning? I'd say they're winning at this point. And the media getting tired of this. The story keeps on dropping down. I've not seen a story like this. I'm the anti-conspiracy guy. So I didn't get into this. I get into this rather late on an intense basis. But once Van Drew was under fire with this, it became pretty obvious how big this is. And it's a narrative of where we are in America at this point. And again, I think Phil Murphy is the one you got to go after. I agree with this guy who's an expert. Murphy has power over this. He may not be able to shoot it down. But if he did, what would the repercussion be? What are they going to do? If it's over uninhabited area particularly. What are they going to do to Murphy? Be a national hero, I think. All right, Laura Ingraham last night. I don't see this happening. If I were her advisor, I'd probably say don't do it because you've already tarred yourself the other way. Calling upon Laura Ingraham, calling upon Taylor Swift to offer to entertain at the inauguration. Now, that would be the biggest act you can get, inarguably, right? Taylor Swift, at this point, that's the biggest act. If she performed even one song at the inauguration, that would be a big deal, national unity. Now, she's already endorsed the other side, so she's gotten people mad on that side. If she does the inauguration, then that's playing with fire on the other side of this. So probably not a smart thing for her to do. But that would be a moment if Taylor Swift said, congratulations, Mr. President, to Trump. Oh, my God. I don't think it'll happen. I don't know who the biggest person at the inaugural will be, the biggest act they'll have. We'll see as that shapes it. Usually Republicans don't do so well in this. Pretty hard to get. And it won't be Scott Baio, hopefully, will be the biggest act if he does anything. All right, lines are 855-839-1210. Jump on board, 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. Do we have a winner yet, Dan, or is that coming up here?
I think it ends in about 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, so we'll tell
after
you.
The break.
Yeah, after the break, who won, and we'll give you the next match. We have Scott of Mount Laurel and Bruce of the Northeast, and we're starting to get kind of back maybe to the big four that we had last year, except for the Earl of Tacoma.
All chalk.
Yes.
All chalk so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. That's the way you hear them the most, I guess. That explains some of it. Hey, happy holidays to all. It's a perfect time to talk about Rescue Natural Supplements and their Deck the Hall sale. Right now, you can save up to 78% on exceptional natural supplements for every area of your health, from essentials like omega-3s and probiotics to cholesterol support, natural pain relief, and more. And the best part, over a dozen health-boosting rescue products are marked down under $20. Get started or stock up today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. With Rescue, you can reinforce your immune system, boost energy, and reach your health goals. Again, there's no code needed to save up to 78% site-wide. So get a head start on your health. Visit res-q.com. Do it today.
Hi, Dawn Stansland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love my new patio doors. You know by now, if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I would only trust the Chapman family team. They are now running a holiday promotion from now through December 31st. Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding is offering 20% off James Hardie siding and any doors or windows purchased as part of this project. So James Hardie fiber cement siding will not burn. They're engineered to protect against damage from fire, water, extreme weather, pests, and time. Take advantage of this fantastic promotion before it's too late. Whether you or somebody you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, or hardware, give Chapman Windows a call. Call or text 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
This is Len Lundy of Lundy Law. When we say we hope you are never involved in an accident, we mean it. But if you're injured in an accident, we will work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. And when we also say it won't cost you a dime up front, we mean it. Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
See Joe Conklin's Comedy Show at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Cherry Hill, Saturday, February 8th with Dennis Horan and Vince Valentine. For tickets, go to JoeConklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Free speech lives here with Kale and Company weekday mornings on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, that's with Dom Giordano. Dom time, 855-839-1210. 1:30, Mark Squeal, the councilman of the district where this arena project, he had to sign off on it originally. He'll be here. And the mayor of Mine Hill, New Jersey, who is chomping at the bit to talk about the whole deal with Kirby yesterday. Amazing. Nothing to see here. Yeah, just stop all this stuff. Robert in Ben Salem, though, is next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert. Yo, Robert.
Hi, Dom.
Hi.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Hi, Dom. It's good to talk to you guys today. Before I get to the side question, there was a debate between Riley Gaines and Jamel Hill. I don't know if you guys caught that.
I did not see it. I'm glad Jamel Hill was willing to debate her. That's good.
Yeah, well, look it up, but I'll give you the money shot because it was hilarious. Times during the debate when Jamel Hill was saying, I'm tired of this and I'm tired of that. And at one point, Riley Gaines says, I think I know why you're tired. Being a long-standing race baiter must be exhausting, okay? And I thought that, okay, she won. That was a great you should look it up. It was a very telling. Riley Gaines can hold her own with anybody, you know?
Yeah, it is shocking. She was going to go to dental school. Then suddenly the Leah Thomas confrontation, and now she's someone – every time we have her on, Robert, you can hear the improvement. You can hear the persona is even better.
Yep, refining. I see politics in her future.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
For the side question, I'm going to go basic, man. And it is the baseball players refusing to step on the chalk lines along the base paths. They jump over it. Sometimes they ballerina over it. You know, it's kind of funny, and it's become a thing at this point. But I'm not really a thing about superstition. But I participated when I was playing baseball because I just didn't want to be the guy who ruined everything. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, that's one I would do, too. I'm not superstitious. I don't know. I don't like messing up the chalk where I played. I took Ro the other day. She wanted to see the street I grew up on. We were going by it, but we ended up going by Vare Recreation Center. And I was disappointed. The field looks kind of grassy. It used to be cinders. And when they put that chalk line down on cinders, you didn't want to disturb the chalk line by smudging it a bit. Let's go to Frank in South Philly. Hey, Frank, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. How we doing today?
Good, Frank.
Dan, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, Dom. I like to hit on two topics. One is the 76ers situation, moving to the Asian neighborhood over there. And 4 years ago, when they first was looking to move, I called the 76ers organization. Never got no response on it. The place they should have turned around and tried to grab was the old Sunoco refinery grounds here. Right now, there is a big warehouse that's being built there.
Right.
And I believe that Amazon is going to be taking it over. That ground there, they could have negotiated a hell of a deal and still be next to the Platte Bridge going to the airport or coming into South Philadelphia.
Okay.
That's one. They should have done that. I don't know if it's a final deal up here at
It is. It's been a final deal for 2 years, really. Since they wanted it. Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to take an average guy's advice as to where to move to.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was one topic. And as far as them drones, Dom, the drones here over there, the guy that we were talking about with the helicopters escorting the drones, that is a strong. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Whether if it's the helicopters, if they could fill gas from one airplane to another, they could escort them drones, bring them down, shoot them down, whatever they got to turn around and do, and they'll find out who owns what government or what person owns them drones because they'll get somebody PO'd, if I may say that on radio.
Yeah, you can, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Have a great weekend. Yeah, this guy made the most sense to me that Murphy has the power to do that. Now, I hear what he says. They didn't want to risk. The state police were hovering over one of them. Well, if there's no risk from it, what's the risk? Well, you know what the risk is. It could be anything. And isn't it, as we end the week on this, isn't it just annoying on a personal level that we just can't put this to bed? Greatest nation in the history of the world, and we have to play around with this. But that's what our government has become. All right, coming up, your calls. Hit us on the side question at 1:30. We're going to talk with Mark Squila at 2 o'clock, the mayor of this town in Jersey, affected by this greatly, and they want something done. My response is going to be, they're telling you they're not going to do it. All right, big 1 o'clock hour coming up.
Now, before break, I just want to put it out there. Final results are in.
Okay.
Scout and Mount Laurel advances. Our second round matchup between Bruce and the Northeast. Scout and Mount Laurel has been settled. A little comeback for Bruce there because it was in the 60s for Scott and Mount Laurel, but he ends with 56.9% of the vote. He advances now to the Final Four, and he'll be taking on, Dom, Robert and Ben Salem.
Oh, boy. That is...
Woo! So in our Final Four, we'll have Robert Ben Salem versus Scott and Mount Laurel. We're still figuring out the 8 on the other side. So first off, we have Bill and Bucks versus Joe of Exton, Dom. So we'll have that up now. Bill of Bucks, Joe of Exton. Go vote now at Dom Show 1210 for your caller of the year.
And this goes until 3 o'clock.
This one goes until the end of the show, 3 o'clock.
All right. So you got Bill and you got Joe of Exton finally comes out of his sanctuary to have to deal with mere mortals here.
And a little bit of background for both these guys. Joe of Exton we're all familiar with as a great side question caller, has his own theme music, really built a persona for himself, whereas Bill of Bucks, through the entire election, was a big Bucks County correspondent. We would call in with numbers from time to time. Well, regularly would call in with the numbers as we flipped the county, and has since remained as a very strong caller, to the point, Dom, that far and away, even more than Earl of Tacony, who took his name out of the competition this year after winning last year, he has like almost double the amount of calls of Earl in the past year. It's a lot of calls from Bill and Buck. So based on the numbers alone, Bill is the most frequent caller versus, again, you have there Joe of Exton, a very character-driven caller.
Exactly. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Go to at Dom Show 1210. You can vote there, and we'll have a winner by the end of the 3 o'clock hour today, 2 o'clock hour. And next week, we'll have the grand finale where the voting is really intense. 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Nick Cale here for my friends at Omaha Steaks. Gifting during the holidays is a warm experience to make someone else's life more enjoyable. Forget gift cards, electronics, or clothing. Get them a memorable experience like the gourmet foods from Omaha Steaks. How about a curated gift package that they will savor with so much flavor? Perhaps filet mignon, courtesy of Omaha Steaks. And now you can get the perfect gift with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, my listeners get an extra $30 off your purchase by using the promo code Nick at checkout. We had the filet mignon, the burgers, and the chicken breasts, and it was the freshest meal I've ever had delivered to my doorstep. The girls loved the chicken. My wife said the burgers melted in her mouth, and I absolutely love the filet. 5 generations of family excellence dating back to 1917. Wow your friends and family with a gift that is way different than the ordinary. OmahaSteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. Use the promo code Nick for an extra $30 off at checkout. Do it today. OmahaSteaks.com.
The secret to savings is out. One place, 2 words.
More money!
Starting at just $3.99, you can find something for everyone in your family and on your list. Make it easy for yourself. Grab gifts that are already in a box. If you're looking for serious savings and style, grab Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse. The list goes on and on. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10.
More money!
You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
Looking for that unique gift or hard-to-find collectible? Look no further than Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys. Nicholas Smith has over 60,000 items for you to shop at both nicholassmithtrains.com and nicholassmithtoys.com. But come into the store on Westchester Pike Broomall and get lost in old and new technology. Pretend play, RC and slot cars, Western play, Madame Alexander dolls, mechanical robots, superhero action figures, Playmobil, Lego, Disney, and much, much more. Right off the Blue Route, visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday or any day.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-688-6641. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. And it's been a big week here. We'll get to one of the big stories. Yesterday, the arena. It's a done deal now. We'll talk with the councilman whose district fits in and could have stopped it at 1:30. And we'll also talk with this mayor. Really, Dan says wanting to get on to go after John Kirby. The most outrageous thing yesterday. Probably the best thing I heard yesterday, though, is Jessica Tarlow from the Five. And I know some people can't stand. She's the best debater they have there. The Howard Ford Jr. guy. Oh, my God. She is, as a moderator, I would tell you, the person you want on something like that to push back on the other side. And that's why the chemistry of the Five is so good. She was on the Katie Couric podcast, though, and she said the smartest political decision of the last couple of years was the decision by Governor Abbott of Texas and Ron DeSantis, particularly she cited DeSantis, sending busloads of people that came here illegally, in the case of Abbott, to New York, Chicago, which is going to be ground zero on deportation day, says Tom Homan, and to Denver, where the mayor, I think, in Denver could be arrested on that day. I think you're going to see some of that. And she said the reason is DeSantis, Martha's Vineyard. You know what happened there. I don't think we fully give enough I would agree with that. I think it's the moral thing to do. Why should Texas, or in the case of DeSantis a bit, Florida, why should they suffer from what we've seen play out with this wave? When they came to the other big cities, somehow or another, Philadelphia didn't get that much. There was somewhat. I'm seeing that in Houston, the DA is going to seek the death penalty for the two here illegally who killed that little girl after raping her. You may remember that, and threw her in a lake. Couple of things, though. Have we gotten to a point that we're even in Texas? This is big news. You would think the death penalty for this, obviously. And I saw an interview with her. She's a Democrat. She said, yeah, I'm seeking the death penalty. Good. Even, Democrat, I guess it's tougher. But she said this crime was particularly gruesome. And here's where I have to make the point that shows you why we have a tendency to be losing. If I'm the DA, how many times do I have to say this? It doesn't matter how gruesome or not gruesome it is. If you kill the person, you take their life. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter if you rape them. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter if they're a big mouth bloviator like me or not. It doesn't matter if it's a drug dealer. If you meet the components of first-degree murder, then every single time you're going to get the death penalty. I'm going to follow you to the ends of the earth and push as hard as I could to make sure every single one of you gets the death penalty as quickly as possible. I'm looking at her now on Fox, and she's a Democrat, so, even though in Texas it's got to be, I get the difficulty. And it's good she's going for the death penalty. But in the explanation, she talked about all these extenuating circumstances that would make it a death penalty. That's not what makes a death penalty. It's taking the life of the person. So just think for a moment how the left has won on this. It's like a Chinese menu, column A and column B. They try to prove extenuating circumstances. They didn't have a pony when they were a kid. And the prosecution has to give us a look at the notion of somehow or another that this is so gruesome. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's two people, one person, and it doesn't matter the person. None of it matters. To me, that would go a long way to get back to the essential thing, life. Life is precious. You don't have a right to take it. You have a right to take it in self-defense, but you don't have a right to take it in these circumstances. Yeah, but he was a drug dealer. I'm a drug dealer. Well, was it self-defense? No, I just wanted to kill him to get his territory. You got the death penalty. It doesn't matter. Well, the manner that I killed him wasn't so bad. I shot him and he died instantly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that it's gruesome. Doesn't matter they're here illegally. It might enrage us more in some way, shape, or form. But the bottom line is you get the death penalty every single time. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. So I think that Abbott and DeSantis are highly underrated for the fact that they really unleashed something here that has had all kinds of repercussions. And Homan has a good eye for this stuff. Homan is targeting Chicago for the first day of the crackdown. I think I would do Denver because I think the Denver mayor thinks he's going to challenge this. And I would lock him up also. But Chicago is where they're going to go. And Homan already saying if the mayor tries to impede us, he'll be arrested also. Sherelle Parker hasn't said anything here. The mob is on her that she has to re-verify this as a sanctuary city. Second order of business, take away every dime you can from those that identify as sanctuary cities. Now, Homan's going to get his part done. The thing that really will put pressure on these cities is to take away the money. We know that. They want to be woke, but they also want the money. All right, let's go to Scott in Mount Laurel. Winner again, moving forward to the next round here against Robert of Ben Salem. That can't be. The Clash of the Titans. These are my two favorites clashing in the semifinals. Oh, man, that's big-time stuff. Dan, does that happen on Monday?
That will be happening, Dom. Let me look here. I think, yeah, because over the weekend we'll do our fourth matchup of the second round. So, yeah, our first matchup of that Final Four will be Robert and Scott, and we'll do that, Monday during the show.
All right, I'm looking forward to that match, second to none. All right. Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, yeah, that should be fun. It's always fun to be a part of things and be involved.
Well, Scott, I gotta interrupt. You're a coach, man, and you got the kind of personality where number one is win. It doesn't matter. And all this crap about these other callers saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to step aside." I don't know if I'm going to hear that from Scott and Mount Laurel.
No, he's not going to hear it from him.
So how would you coach up your players? I mean, if they have all this like, "Oh, I'm going to step aside," no, none of that, right, Scott? You want to win this whole thing, huh?
Absolutely, we want to win. We want to do the best we can all the time. We try to win. And obviously, if we lose, then we're not going to be poor sports about it. We'll congratulate the winner. I congratulated Earl down in Mulligan's this year. But certainly, I want to win.
I love it.
Good stuff, yeah.
I love the competitive spirit of Scott and Mount Laurel. Monday, vote for Scott if you want him.
There you go. That's what I have. Vote for Scott on Monday. Yep, that's a good slogan. I mean, we could get a little more creative, but it's not bad. But I'll tell you, I was listening to some of the stuff you were saying earlier. I do agree, actually, with the thing with DeSantis and the governor of Texas sending those people to these different states. It's really made those other states, the ones that are voting for the Bidens and for the Democrats on the presidential level, feel the impact of their decisions. And there's no question in it. I think that helped in terms of getting Trump reelected. We have to make them feel that. The way the Democrats tried to inflict everything on everyone else by, low-income housing and putting it in all these different towns and trying to kind of, make everyone's problem, or some people's problem, everyone's problem.
Yeah, exactly right. These insulated places, Scott, once they feel this a little bit, then they move forward. And the people that are leading the charge are usually African-American in Chicago and places like that. They've had it, and I think it helped propel Trump forward. The other side still hasn't gotten the message clearly enough, though, on this. They think it's just a blip on the screen. I don't think so. If Republicans are smart, this has been unleashed.
Well, and I think in that vein, one of the things that Trump needs to do, if he can, is do that to Congress. If Congress had to live under the laws that they put out there, we would have a lot different country. They put Obamacare out there, but they're exempt from it.
Exactly.
I think that's something on the bully pulpit that Trump could make inroads with, and maybe that would change some things. Another thing is Caitlin Clark. What she did was a mistake because once you show them that they can wear you down and get you to do what they want, then they are even more emboldened and more relentless. She is really in trouble now.
Yeah, I agree with you, and she's going to lose support from people. I wouldn't tell people to do that. As a player, I still really like her. I'm already seeing people say, though, she needs to be punished. I think she's under a lot of pressure. I hope she reconsiders. But I wouldn't be punishing her. The punishment, as you say, is going to be enough. She's going to see this won't stop it.
Yeah, it'll make it worse. I agree. I wouldn't punish her. I mean, I don't watch the WNBA anyway. I mean, you know, it's whatever.
Wait a minute. You're a basketball guy. How can you not watch basketball?
Well, I'll just say it nicely. I'm more interested in the games that I'm coaching and the practices that I'm going to and scouting and all that than to have time to watch the WNBA, although I guess they play in the summer. So I'm watching baseball then.
Okay.
I don't find women's basketball that entertaining. Can I say that?
Okay, sure you can. I find it to be decent, that type of thing. I do. So
okay.
we did. By the way, how's that project? Are you lurking it up that Dan down at Mulligan's is going to shoot 70% at the foul line?
Well, we got to get together and work on it. Dan's got to let me know his schedule, and we'll get him at 70%. I'm telling you,
man.
It will happen.
Now, you know it's windy at the shore, too. I don't even know if NBA players
wait
shoot.
Wait, we need to shoot indoors. Okay, I am not. That is not something that
Go
I
ahead.
can.
There's a better
for.
chance that Ben Simmons emerges out of nowhere and becomes the king of three-pointers than me hitting 70% in free throws. Just gonna put that
God. Yeah.
Dan, I'm going to have you shooting so well. You're going to think, gee, why didn't I play basketball all those years?
There you go.
Wish I knew you earlier, Scott.
All right, what's your answer on the ritual superstition?
There was one year that I was coaching, and for whatever reason, we had a lot of close games, and late in the game when we were shooting foul shots to protect the lead, I would take like a step towards the scorer's table, and then I would just start walking towards our bench in a certain way. I can't even describe it, the way my feet were, and we seemed to make our foul shots that year, so I just kept doing that every game.
That is it. That's how rituals start. Now, is it true if your team gets to the finals of the state or something, you would wear a thong for them to win?
If I thought that would make us win, I'd definitely do it. But I don't know that I would believe it.
Thank you, Scott. That's, I think it was the good Giambi, the greater Giambi, not the lesser Giambi, who wore the thong. I don't think it was the other guy. It wouldn't have helped.
Jason, not Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah, Jeremy, was just one of those on-base percentage guys, allegedly, yeah.
He gets on base.
All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Moments away, we'll talk with Councilman Mark Squila. The arena situation, again, I like the guy. He's not going to be argumentative, but I want you to hear somebody on the other side. Let's see what arguments he can make about. In other words, in Philadelphia, if it's in your district, you have the prerogative. If you say no, they don't do it. I don't think that's a good rule, but that's what it is. You got to get them to say yes first. And then yesterday, they did say yes. Curiously, the worst member of the Socialist Working Party people, Kendra Brooks, did not show up for the vote. The cowardice is beyond belief. So I don't know what interest she has. You know, you would think she would vote against it, but she just didn't show up. All right, 855-839-1210. And I can hardly wait to bring you the mayor of this town in Jersey, who's speaking out today. But as we head toward the end of the weekend, Murphy and the Biden administration doing nothing, they're winning on this. People do get tired. It's almost like, does something have to happen before they agree that something is happening here? In other words, don't they have any pride, any personal sense, not on my watch? Don't you at least have that? To say, no, we're not going to let this go on. I don't care what we have to do. I don't care what the red tape is. I'm not letting this go on, particularly in a place like Jersey. 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Luigi's not getting any Swedish fish in the joint. Luigi has for breakfast a choice of fruits, grits, bread, eggs, and coffee.
We have to remember, as these dummies on News Nation are like, hi, everybody, there's a person dead. It's, again, this idol worship. Do you guys see him? Is he watching? Like, they're giddy schoolgirls. Ugh.
Goes back to the big take this morning, the violence of the left, the irrelevance of the media.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Guarding online privacy is critical for me, personally and professionally. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. I feel secure with Privacy Pro's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. So we're able right now to offer you a free 30-day trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro provides me with a VPN, secure encrypted Wi-Fi connection that I trust. It hides my IP address and location from the sites I visit, which is critical because I spend a lot of time on the road multitasking, online, doing show prep, researching the latest news. I love that the DuckDuckGo VPN works on browsers and apps across mobile and desktop. Get a 30-day free trial, DuckDuckGo.com/1210, then pay $9.99 a month. Do this. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-458-0279. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-458-0279. 800-458-0279. Or oxcarcare.com.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Dom Giordano show. Dan's got an update already. A lot of voters. Joe of Exton versus Bill of Bucks. How's it going, Dan?
Yeah, Dom, 2024 Caller of the Year competition at Dom Show 1210. We got about an hour and 30 left on the vote that's going on right now. It's our third second-round matchup between Bill of Bucks, our most frequent caller of the past year, and arguably the betting favorite of the competition, Joe of Exton. So a big matchup here. Could determine the rest of the tournament, to be quite honest, because these guys are heavy hitters. Right. Dom, really close matchup. 52.6% for Joe of Exton, 47.4% Bill of Bucks. Head on over, Dom Show 1210 on Twitter to vote.
Let's get Linda Kearns on this. We may need her at the deadline, like at 2:56, to determine if the vote was indeed, or will there be any, Mark Elias, to call his office. We might need him to continue counting the ballots here. Even though they're electronic, who knows? This might be one of those. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. We're going to talk with Gerald Posner, too, right, Dan, today?
2:30.
2:30. Gerald Posner is the guy, and Dan, you probably don't know this. You saw the article, though. He wrote a great article, How Republicans Can Save Women's Sports. There's a bill they can pass that will do this. But he is Mr. Debunker extraordinaire. He made his fame because he wrote the seminal book saying Lee Harvey Oswald killed John F. Kennedy Jr., which I contend is when all this conspiracy stuff, that and social media, where it really took off. I'll ask him if he's watching the drone thing and what he thinks. He's written, too, about Big Pharma and RFK Jr., He's quite a guest. He's here at 2:30, and then we'll have the lightning round after him. Let's go to Sal in Sewell, New Jersey on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Sal.
Hey, hello, Dom. How you been?
Good, Sal.
All right. I was talking to Henry for a little bit, and I was going to say, you never believe it, Dom. I walked out just like that fella said yesterday. I'm here right on near Rowan College on Tanyard Road, close to Delsey Drive. And I walk out, and it's like 7:30 almost, 7, right about there, 7. I'm ready to go get some shopping done for Christmas. I see the big light coming towards me. I said, what the heck is that? Ain't no one, Dom, drone. Then another one follows him. Then 2 more come. Then 2 more. I seen 6 drones, Dom. 2 big white lights are on them. 2 little green lights and 2 little red lights blinking and blinking. 6 of them. I said, what the heck's going on? I called my sister. I called everybody, my neighbors out here. I said, come out, look. And then they veered off towards the Delsey Drive, and then they were heading towards the Washington Township. And then I told my sister, and about 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, she called me and said, yeah, I seen one outside my house. He's right there like on Gantown Road near the Black Horse Pike.
Right.
So you're right, Dom. Them things are big, and they were flying. There were 6. They were like buddies. The one would go forward, the other ones would follow the big one, and 2 other ones would veer off.
Right.
But yeah.
So
like,
Sal,
wow, cool.
John Kirby is mocking the 2 of us having this conversation. What do you say?
Why, Don? What's he believe? What did he say? I didn't listen.
He said there's nothing illegal, nothing to see here. There's no drones. Just continue on with your life.
Yeah, right, Dom. Like the balloon thing, right? Just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Yo, Dom, no way I agree with that guy. He's off his rocker. I was going to ask you this, Dom.
Sure.
My buddy looked on. He lives in Philadelphia. He said I grew up there, but he said that he read on the phone. I asked Henry on the Google or internet that Murphy said shoot them down. Governor Murphy, this turkey over here, and he said that the Chinese fellow was locked up because he did something with these drones and he had something tied in with something that he got. Did you read anything down on the internet?
No, I don't know about that part, Sal. All I know is Murphy has the power to put long-range helicopters up there to follow these or if they move over something that's uninhabited, take them out. Sal, what's your ritual or superstition?
Dom, I got to go. And I don't know if it's not a good one, I think. Remember, Dom, how we like watch the Sixers or any football, the Eagles, and they say the guy, just like the fellow said earlier, guys at the foul line, and us Italians, we give them the fingers like the horns and give them the horn fingers and say, miss. Just like with a field goal or an extra point at the foul line.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Perfectly. Sal, have a nice weekend. Thank you. Here's a little bit of what Sal was talking about. Dan's pulled this news story with the Chinese.
A Chinese national living in Brentwood was arrested at San Francisco International Airport, accused of flying a drone over Vandenberg Space Force Base. The 39-year-old man, identified as Yin Piao Zhou, was apprehended before boarding a flight to China. Base security detected the drone on November 30th, flying at high altitude for nearly an hour. Investigators found aerial photographs of the base on the drone. If convicted, Joe faces up to 4 years in prison.
All right. So, again, the biggest gripe I have as we end this week, first of all, thank God for Jeff Van Drew setting the media into a frenzy here, at least, and the mockery that he got from Murphy and the Pentagon spokeswoman. We went through that, right? So as we end the week, though, it just seems this lethargy. Well, Christmas will be here. These people like Sal, they'll forget about what they're seeing. Nothing's going to happen here. Nothing to see. Just move forward. These are not grand conspiracy. It's something the military's doing. They don't want to say it. I do believe they're drones, and I do believe there's some kind of control that's foreign here. And we just have the inability to want to confront this. Again, even President Trump, I haven't seen or his people say, once we get in there, here's what we would do if this is still going on. So what's the over and under? Does this continue through Christmas? I'll take the over. I'll say it goes through Christmas. So just sitting here as this continues. Dan, do you take the over or the unders? Does this end?
No, and I think their hope is that we forget about it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. You're 100% right. Like I think because we've seen so many times, like look at a president was shot at. We had an assassination attempt, and the media just drops covering it and kind of distances themselves. And with our 24-hour news cycle, it is a realistic solution and I think they're considering this as a solution to just ignore it and let's hope that the 24-hour news cycle passes.
That's what it is. And I have to say the temperature on like Wednesday when we have was enormous. Yesterday it was pretty enormous. Today, not so much. And people are back to shopping, whatever, unless something happens here. Oh, well, just live with it. Just go on with your life. And we'll see as it continues. I think that's right. I think it goes through Christmas. Now, oh, yeah, the drones, are they still up there? It's outrageous. It's what government does. This guy Kirby is one of the all-time arrogant manipulators. He's better than the French woman at what he does. I'll give him that. All right, coming up, we are going to talk with Councilman Squila. Had him on many times over the years, particularly he's done good work in Kensington. I'll ask him about it. I got to get an update on that. And I'm amazed and proud that listeners still care about things like that, Kensington and the like, even if they live in the suburbs. But he's here mainly because his district will have this showplace of the Sixers, and he had to sign off on it right in the beginning, I don't know, 6 months ago, whenever, for the final lap here. Because if you don't, and you're in that you're the council person for that district, they can't do it. It's councilmatic privilege. They're going to do it on Thursday. They were always going to do it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm getting myself ready for the celebration seeing this. It's just sickening. And the forces that want to do it, well, these are union jobs. So they're going to push everybody aside and say, we don't care about anything else.
It'd be great for the city.
That is so questionable.
It would be.
Okay, well, you have
the amount of industry that comes with it, and
okay,
we talked about it yesterday, but it's a blight in our city right now, the East Market area, and this is a complete solution for it that it's being handed to us.
When you have thousands of people who say it's going to destroy their culture, usually in Philadelphia, tens of thousands, that's enough. Why is it not enough here? I'll ask him. We'll see if he agrees. And I'm not going to put him into this. It would be, but to me, if this were a different minority group saying this, they wouldn't do it. I would bet anything on that. All right. Every Friday night, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, is giving all customers a bigger payout on select NBA first bets. First bets will get you in on the action from the opening tip. You can bet on things like who'll score the first basket, which team will be the first to 15 points, and a lot more. And best of all, you don't have to wait the whole game to see if you won. Just look for Friday First in the FanDuel app to help that profit boost. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to claim your Friday First profit boost. Make every moment more, too, with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. At to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Max wager amount applies. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated. But your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
Need new doors and windows, but not high-pressure sales tactics?
If so, give Emmons a call today. At Emmons, we provide top-notch installation service with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction with brands like Anderson and Provia Windows and Doors.
And you can upgrade your home today with our energy-efficient options, which help save you money.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The story about artificial Christmas trees being more eco-friendly. I'm a big believer in getting them real. I don't know how you gentlemen feel about this, but I am a big believer in getting real Christmas trees because they help the family farms. Kirk has a real tree. Good for you, Kirk. I'm glad to hear that. You support the family farmers, Kirk?
No.
You know, you said you have a real tree. That means you do support the family farmers.
Yeah, sorry.
Kirk's like, I have a real tree. I'm helping out. You support the farmers? No, F those guys.
Yes, I do.
Rick Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. I'm not sure at this point, but a second ago we were tied, literally 50-50. Joe of Exton, Bill of Bucks, Dan.
No, it's still completely tied. It's a good
right.
Dom. 50-50 at Dom Show 1210 Caller of the Year contest. Really, really good matchup going right now.
All right, you can jump in right now at Dom Show 1210. Continue to vote. We'll have the winner right at about 256 or 57, somewhere around there today. And Linda Kearns will have to certify this election next week. We got to get her on here to check all avenues of this. 855-839-1210. All right, we're waiting on Mark Squila. Not exactly sure what's happened here. The councilman from, his district extends through downtown and all that. He's the guy who was the point person, though, on getting all this done with the Sixers arena, which is like a million years down the road, but a big issue here in Philadelphia. And I gave you the reasons why consistently this is out of line. So I just want to know, is a policy change now where if a large group, cultural, whatever, says, no, we can't have this. We get the economics of it, but you shouldn't be doing that here. It's going to be destructive. You don't go with them anymore. You just brush them aside. Why? Well, you look at the players on the other side. It's pretty hard to beat. A bunch of billionaires, the black clergy, and the building trades union. They want to do it. That's enough. Nothing else matters. Now, if you happen to be some other kind of developer, though, you're going to face ferocious pushback and all kinds of name-calling. But that's the way it works in Philadelphia. Okay, let's go to Joe in Columbus, New Jersey, who's sitting pretty, waiting this weekend for his next match, right? Joe's with us. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Dom. I also hear you put in a plug for the Zioli Army yesterday that I missed. Was that true?
I don't remember that. What was the, yeah.
just on the terms of being a Zeoli member or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Dom, it just didn't dawn on me till yesterday when I think it was on Rich's show. They had more recent drone spotting in Delran.
Yes.
And I started thinking, and I heard the gentleman prior to me talk about Washington Township. I think it'd be interesting to plot these things because now it seems like Delran's right up against Morristown on its eastern edge, and right off of 295 there, you have a Lockheed Martin facility that is very, very secure, tight. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if for whatever reason, military or nefariously, I wonder if these things, if you could plot out, they're flying around the military installations. Because down in Atlantic County, you have a National Guard presence at Atlantic City Airport in Galloway, flying up and down the Turnpike. It's a little jaunt to Fort Dix, McGuire, Joint Base, Picatinny Arsenal. I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
Well, yeah, the Arsenal. That's one of the first places that reported this, and they're allowed to take action, Joe. I just think everybody's cowed here, and they're afraid if they're the one that takes action. So what they're going to do is they're saying to themselves, oh, how many days to Christmas? Just let this go. It's stunning.
Christmas had nothing to do with it, Dom. Remember how all the commercial pilots were taken out of their commercial planes and put into F-16s at 9/11?
Sure.
That should have nothing to do. Christmas should have nothing to do with this.
Joe, I have not seen anything more arrogant and incompetent, but mainly arrogant in government in this, and that none of them seem that. Well, the other guy that has power is the governor. As I said today, this guy made a great case, this expert, that he could have these long-range Blackhawks up there. They could follow, and or if it got over uninhabited land. We don't even know where it's coming from. How could that be possible, to your point about Lockheed and all? We don't know where these things are coming from.
Right. Some should be scrambled. Some should be, it's concerning at best, at least.
Yeah, well, what's concerning to me, as you know, Joe, for better, I take things personally, and allowing this type of stuff to go on is an affront. Even if it turns out not to be a threat, it's still illegal. It's still terrorizing people who are wondering what it's about. And if you had any dignity at all, you would be moving heaven and earth, if you're the governor, for example, to do something.
Yeah. Hey, and Dom, if they haven't already, they got to be encroaching flight paths.
Yes. I agree with you. Joe, what's your answer to this?
I had to hang up on him so I can use the phone.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah. Sorry, Joe. We got your side there on the Henry. Will give it to us in a second. We have Mark Squila coming on board. All right, let's go to Councilman Mark Squila here on Talk Radio 1210 from Philadelphia. All right, Dan, rub it in. Councilman, Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks for the Sixers, Mark.
Thanks for coming on today.
Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Mark, Councilman, tell me the argument. I'm against this. You probably have heard.
I'm for it.
Yeah, we have some people that are for it. What do you say? What would your argument be? Because it's pretty hard to talk in these council things. I get it. People are revved up from Chinatown. Are they representative of Chinatown? It seems to me that they are, the greater mass of Chinatown, who says this is bad for them. What would you say to them?
Well, I'm going to say that is true, though. I mean, there is a majority of the Chinatown folks that feel like this arena will negatively impact them, and that's why it was so important to listen to what those concerns were and introduce companion legislation to put protections in place so that the concerns that we heard will not happen in Chinatown. And, we did an overlay to have inclusionary zoning for affordable housing. We did a small business protection overlay in the zoning matter to keep making a variance for over a certain square footage. We also prohibited some uses like nightclubs and entertainment facilities in there, so you wouldn't have like big sports bars going in there and try to just build and do by right in the Chinatown community. And the mayor, even on top of the CBA of the $60 million, added another $20 million for affordable housing programs within the Chinatown community to really build over hundreds of units of affordable housing in there to keep and preserve the affordability and the culture of Chinatown. So, because of those concerns that we heard and because of the opposition, we did the things that we think were necessary in order to allow the project to move forward and help with the blight of East Market and hopefully continue to build off the arena to build additional projects on the south side of Market and from 6th Street up to City Hall.
So, but people, if anything, are more revved up in these last few weeks that are in Chinatown. Does it sound like you guys know better with all the things that you just mentioned than what they know about their culture and what they want to continue in Chinatown? And Mark, I would add this. Am I wrong that usually when a group, particularly an ethnic group of some sort, says no because of these concerns, we're very skittish about moving forward with development? So is it that it's just so enormous, the amount of money here, that those things are pushed aside?
No, I don't think it's about that. It's about making sure the people and the concerns are heard, whether it was Chinatown or whether it was in a minority community, whether it was major black community, or even when you did the casino down the river at the in Fishtown, right? Majority working class neighborhood here, mainly Irish neighborhood at that point, but. Those concerns are very real, right? And when you did the casino down in Fishtown on Delaware, there was 0% support for that. I mean, 0, right? So we're not saying we know better, but we're taking those concerns that we heard and putting protections in place, knowing that, there are going to be negative impacts if we don't have these protections in place. And now that casino down there is a great community partner with the people who were opposed to it. Now, are we saying they didn't know any better and the casino really wasn't a problem? I'm going to say no. It was that because of the concerns that we heard, the city council was able to put protections and also work on the CBA to make that partnership happen, and so that the casino was able to grow along with the community together and become a partner in the mission of growing Chinatown in this case, or growing Fishtown in that case, and really to be as one instead of being adversaries.
The Inquirer, then, does the Inquirer and all these reports, including one that says that only 40% of the current people that are Sixers fans would agree to go in by SEPTA or by train to the games? I mean, there's going to be gridlock there. You differ with that?
Well, no, I think from learning from our studies, the studies have said, and I guess, time will tell once the arena opens, but they say that if 40% of the people do not take public transit, then, there would be gridlock in that area. And, we talked to other municipalities who moved their arenas from more of a rural area, from surface parking lot places to inner cities like San Francisco, Milwaukee, or Boston. And take for San Francisco, for instance, they had 90% people driving to their events. They moved it down into the city, and now they have 50% people taking public transit. So how did they make that transition? What did they do? So talking to them, they had a public transit plan. The transit plan enabled, like Otis, our streets department, police, EMS, fire, all those folks putting a plan together. And in our legislation, we have to have a plan approved by PennDOT before they're even allowed to pull a permit. And then we also required them to purchase public transit passes for every person who buys an arena ticket. So for the first year, everybody who buys a ticket will have an arena pass, have a transit pass. And if they're coming from Patco from Jersey or one of the counties and using the regional rails or the subway or the L, they could just use your ticket. They put it on the SEPTA platform. They could use it for that whole day. They ride back and forth. And therefore encouraging more people to use public transit. And the other thing that these municipalities did is say, hey, listen, if you want to go to an event at this arena, you can't drive because there's not enough parking spots for 18,000 people, right? And they did that constantly for a year up to the event, and they were able to transfer the 90% drivership to those events and now have 50% public transit ridership. So we see it can be done. So understanding the challenges and concerns, if this is done right, it could work and benefit everybody. Of course, if it's done wrong, we will have those challenges that everybody's complaining about and have concerns about.
Why would I think, though, that SEPTA can accomplish anything of this? To me, SEPTA is ill-run and unsafe.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with there's challenges on SEPTA, and part of it is a funding mechanism that, and in Harrisburg, there's political wrangling over. They want a direct source of funding to go to public transit, right? And they're talking about these skill games and other things that they want both the Democrats and the Republicans to agree on to regulate and tax and then therefore fund it. The reason why they didn't fund SEPTA because they said they don't have a direct source. So that's more of a political issue. I think the government will get their act together. I think the funding will come from the state and locally to enable that. SEPTA does have work to do. We've met with them. They do have to clean up the system. They're in the process of doing that. They're going to have new leadership. I'm not sure who's going to be taken over, but from what I understand, that's going to be a high priority is safety and on time. You have to be critical in that it's clean, it's safe, and it's reliable. And that's the first thing we have to do within the next year or so, and then build it out so that most people who stop taking public transit will go back taking public transit. Because some of the studies have showed us that the ridership during the peak hours, even on regional rail, that used to be like rush hour, is down. But ridership at night and ridership at other times is actually at 2019 or greater levels. So maybe it's true that people aren't coming in at rush hour. Maybe people aren't working in town as much as they were before. But as this changes and as we look at these things, we have to be able to adapt to it and make those things available so that we want more people to take public transit. Our goal is to have transit-oriented development so people do take public transit. We don't want to shy away from that. And the more people that use public transit, the safer it will be.
Mark, how much are the Sixers then, if you could quantify this by whatever metrics you have, how much are they paying for this project?
Well, at the end of the day, I don't know what it's going to cost. And we're hearing $1.3 to $1.5 billion in cost to develop this, where they get their resources from, or who the venture capitalists are, or who are going to, give them the resources to do this. I don't know. But it's not only about that part of it, because we know our challenges on East Market. We know, the challenges of the Wanamaker building, right? That was in receivership. We know that the heirloom market at the Giant at 8th and Market is closing December 28th. Whether Macy's stays open next year or not is still up in the air. We know the empty vacant properties that we have. Macerich, who owns the Fashion District, who will now be partnering with the 76 Development Corporation, they will now own not only the arena, but that mall. They will also own properties on the south side of Market, which they could develop to have retail mixed use with residential building density on the south side of Market. That will be a big boost for East Market and Center City, and also help drive economic impact along that corridor. So it's not only the arena itself and the money that they put there, but their investment in East Market and then on the south side to help build density. And again, the more people that we have there in the transit-oriented location, the safer it'll be. And hopefully at that point we will start to see an increase of people wanting to come back to East Market or Chestnut Street corridor. And instead of having all these vacancies, we'll start having more interest for people to come and have more retail on, our right now, which is the desolate corridor.
Other area for you, Mark, you've been very much in the forefront on Kensington. We don't hear as much about it, which is usually a pretty good thing. I know there's been a little bit of back and forth. So how would you tell us, first year of this new mayor and the other reforms that were put in, how does Kensington look at this point?
Well, I'm not going to say we have a big change in Kensington, but I'm going to say we have a big change in the effort to address the Kensington issue. The effort is there as far as cleaning. They have put a lot of resources in there. They have the mayor's TCB program with taking care of business has also engaged the community to do corridor cleaning throughout the area. The city has also invested money into a facility that should be opening up in the new year, first quarter of 25. That's going to open up a minimum of like 150 new beds, right? So the concentration, the priority, and the effort is there. We haven't seen right now a major change in unhoused people and people in addiction on the street, even though that this effort is happening. But I do believe that since it is a priority, the facilities will be opening up in the new year. I do believe you will start to see a change in 2025.
Well, Mark, thank you. Anytime, come on. So the next vote, the final vote, it looks very clear, will be this Thursday on the big arena project.
That's correct. It'll be the final vote Thursday. The council president added another session in order to have this done and not go into the new year. So it will be a vote up or down, and most likely, since the vote out of committee was a committee of the whole, and you had a majority of the people voting on out of committee, most likely the same majority will be voting that out on Thursday.
Thank you, Mark, very much. Thanks for coming on to explain.
All right. Thank you. Everybody have a good day. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Take care.
Mark. Thank
right.
you very
Bye-bye.
much. Councilman Mark Squila here on Talk Radio 1210. Coming up, we're going to talk with the mayor of a town who is wanting to talk with John Kirby yesterday about what he said around the drone issue. You heard Mark Squila. We can take your reaction to it. You hear his side. All I know is the people in Chinatown are saying this doesn't make any sense to them. Are they just emotional over it? And I don't know that Chinatown is the same of what they did with the casino. I know where that is. I don't think that is as restrictive as Chinatown already is. And it's not cultural either, like a Chinatown is, even though it was heavily Irish there and all that stuff. It's not quite the same thing. 855-839-1210. Hey, let's talk great dentistry as we head toward the new year. You're looking for a dentist, you're thinking, yeah, I put it off. You don't have to make an appointment before Christmas. You can do it into January, get yourself up and running, and that's with my guy. That's with Dr. Robert Bentz, my friend, dentist, board-certified prosthodontist of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. So many things set Dr. Bentz apart, and I've gone through a laundry list over about 10 years of talking about him. One thing, though, is the role of technology. Now, we know the end product, the convenience, the consistency. We've talked about this with the 3D printer and making your teeth. But the state-of-the-art equipment, diagnostic care, you want something as precise as humanly possible. That's what Dr. Bentz has. That allows him to not only diagnose better and also to instruct you of what your options are and what can be done. And also, he found something that others had missed. He had better diagnostic tools. Now, this is stuff that you just don't get so much so that other dentists send their more complex cases to Dr. Bentz. You can get the Bentz Dental Group to get that appointment. Call them today. They provide solutions to the most complex dental cases. 610-272-6949. Or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. 610-272-6949.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-909-1822. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-909-1822. That's 800-909-1822. 800-909-1822.
The secret to savings is out. One place, two words. More money! Starting at just $3.99, you can find something for everyone in your family and on your list. Make it easy for yourself. Grab gifts that are already in a box. If you're looking for serious savings and style, grab Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse. The list goes on and on. Quick, affordable gifts for the whole fam for under $10. More money! You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
When you look at your kids or grandkids, you can't help but wonder. You wonder what their world will be like in 20 years. Then you think about yourself. What will your life be like when you step away from work and into retirement? There are a lot of things you can't control, but with the right planning, there are some things you can. At Spectrum Wealth Partners, our Portfolio X-Ray is designed to show you how you're doing so far and what your monthly income will look like in the future. In other words, they can take you from wondering to knowing. So take control of your financial future. Call today for a complimentary evaluation. 856-322-8686 or at SpectrumWP.com. And tune into The Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Advisory services offered through Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC-registered investment advisor. Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and Spectrum Wealth Partners are not affiliated companies.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-411-2215. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-411-2215. That's 800-411-2215. 800-411-2215.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security is these days. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. It's a 3-in-1 subscription service, and it includes DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. That's 3 features for the price of 1. Right now, we're able to offer you a free 30-day trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. I discovered DuckDuckGo years ago. It's an independent browser, search engine, millions use it, and now you can get an extra layer of online protection with the DuckDuckGo VPN. It secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere, home, work, abroad. Yes, when I travel to Italy, I'll be using it, and it's so easy to use. Connect in just one click in the DuckDuckGo browser, and I check my VPN status at a glance. Get a 30-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you pay $9.99 a month. Do this. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell Dawn sent you.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Okay, it is Dom time. Welcome in. A lot of developing stories. Before I go to the mayor of Mine Hill, New Jersey, who I know would like to see John Kirby over there in Jersey. I'm looking at a story from our buddy Nick Sorter. First met him East Palestine, and it appears to be there has been a crash in Hillsborough, New Jersey, potentially one of these drones. There's a lot of people there, a lot of stuff going on. That's where we are. But Mayor Sam Morris of Mine Hill, New Jersey, is with us here. We saw him pop up, and I can understand why. He's on Talk Radio 1210. Mr. Mayor, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. And my producers tell me he could hardly wait to get to the mic.
Well, I told him, got to take care of my Philly guys,
Thank you.
I'm a Delaware kid, but I grew up with everything in Philly,
You got a good mayor here where you send an email to the guy, and within 1 minute he gets back to you. I can imagine his constituents get the same treatment.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
So. And I answer my own. I don't have people for that. I do the work.
Where's your town, Mine Hill, New Jersey? Where are you?
It's in Morris County, up about 15 miles east of the Delaware Water Gap. We're up in we're about 900 feet up. We start to ascend into the Poconos here in New Jersey. Yep.
Okay. Well, that seems to be prime country for what we're seeing here. And you've said some really interesting things when you heard John Kirby, particularly yesterday. I mean, this went downhill fast when this guy started talking, the things that he said. What's your response to that?
Come on out. Come on up. Get out of your ivory tower. Come on up to North Jersey. Come out and in bed with me and some of the other mayors and the people out here who know what they're doing, and come on up and we'll show you that this is not all manned aircraft. There are definitely drones flying around here unabated.
Yeah, and, you are one of the guys, we had Jeff Van Drew on, and he has constituents too, but a mayor of a town like this, the constituents want action. They're going to go to the mayor, executive action. What have you been trying to do to try to help it along?
Advocate. The biggest thing is just advocate on their behalf, give them a voice, give them standing in these meetings and in these conversations, and then disseminate the information out to people. My town and most of these towns, but my town particularly, we have a really good mechanism for communicating between social media. We also have a direct email and phone call program, software that we use, and we have sent out updates. Hey, here's what we know, so we all know the same thing, kind of messages. And we apologize that we don't know more, but as I've said to numerous people, even Governor Murphy, who I have a good relationship with, this really isn't his area. It isn't my area. It's the FAA's area. And they are silent, virtually silent. No one has heard from the FAA about anything. And that's where the uneasiness comes in, because you're really not hearing from the one authority. So when I try to talk to my residents, they say, look, we're not hearing from these people, but we're poking these people. We're trying to get information out of these people. And that's really all we can do.
What does Murphy, though? I mean, Mayor, I might differ with you a little bit. I'm not sure here, but we see an expert at the Blaze today, right? And this guy's a helicopter pilot, Air Force, et cetera, that they do have, the New Jersey Homeland Security has these Black Hawk helicopters with long-range fuel tanks. They could be in the area and at least make an attempt to either follow or shoot down if it gets over uninhabited areas. We don't even know where they're coming from, which would solve a lot of this. I really think the governor's got to be more proactive also, because Washington is saying Christmas is coming and people in your town are going to get over it.
Yeah, that's their general. I'll be honest with you, I was unaware that information you just shared with.
Okay, well, Mayor, you know what? I'll tell our producers to send it to you. The guy's name is Chuck DeCaro, guys. Blaze Media, if you send it to the mayor's email. And Mayor,
that'd be great.
This guy has a lot of background in this, and I do believe, from my experience over the years, it's accurate that the governor could engage in this. Now, there is a bit of a risk factor. I know they pulled a state helicopter down that was hovering over it before. Maybe they don't have to hover over it, though. General vicinity, and these are equipped with long-range fuel. I don't know how long. Do you have any sense of people telling you, at least in your town, once they first spot them, how many hours they're up there each night? Is it just till daylight?
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is, and this is my own, on Tuesday, December 3rd, I videotaped a set of them. They were drones because they didn't fly away. They were going back and forth. And I can tell you one of the oddball things of these, and I've been studying this really hard for over a week, is, a lot of these drones now have AI, artificial intelligence in them, and they're pre-programmed to go to certain places, certain points in space, certain elevations. And so they can kind of have a mind of their own with the AI. And what they seem to do when people get near them, they drift away from you. So when you say, okay, well, how many hours are they up there?
Yeah.
They aren't just sitting in a spot over top of a football field or a school or whatever.
Okay.
They drift everywhere. And they almost seem, and I hate to sound, I don't want to sound a little tin hat here, but I've tried. When you try getting out near them, they just drift over the horizon. Mm-hmm. And if they're, depending on how they're programmed, and I think depending on the AI that's in them, they're programmed to do that. And that makes it hard to say, well, that drone was there for 3 hours.
Yeah, I hear
because
you.
they just got, they loft all away.
I'm asking because I do think that's the play. This guy that I told you about, and we're sending it to you, Mayor, makes a great case. And I do think it's coming a time. Harrisburg is sending you, Washington, they're sending you a signal. They're not acting on this for whatever the reason is, I think incompetency and arrogance. But the governor then has to take action that's a little bit more direct, maybe not a shoot down yet, certainly over inhabited areas, but more has to be done to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I'm talking a little bit over my head, my knowledge base here, but we've all seen the movies where these aircraft have tracking capabilities on it, and that stuff's real. You lock on a target and you can follow it or shoot it. That's one of the things I've been saying for a week is, get up. You have to blow it out of the sky. You don't have to worry about shooting it down over, Cherry Hill or some other place, but just follow it. If you lock onto it, it should be able to get away from you. And let's see where they're going to. And that is, I think to Jeff Andrews' point, it's confirmed that they go out over the ocean. It's not confirmed where they land or go. Mm-hmm. But the Ocean County Sheriff's Office has documented very clearly that they are going out and coming back from the ocean.
Right.
So if they do that, that would be a good place to get one, right? You could certainly track it. And if it ditched in the water because it was programmed to ditch in the water, now you got the Coast Guard, you can go get one. And it's safe. You're not going to hurt anybody out there.
No, exactly, Mayor. Well, again, keep us in the loop. We'll send this to you. The guy's name is DeCaro. You may want to talk with him to kind of put another bug in Murphy. That would be an action, and the way you just said it, that's reasonable and certainly would give us a shot at getting to the bottom of it. So what's the principle?
I think that would work very well.
Good.
Sure.
What's the principal industry, or what's your town known for?
Well, my town is known. We are one of the first two mining towns in North Jersey, going back to 1712. We mined the iron ore here that made the guns for the American Revolution. And of course, as time has evolved, Mine Hill has just become a New York suburb bedroom community. But we do have a lot of Eagles fans here, though, baby. I can tell you that. But it's funny because once they know about me, they all come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, well, with the Giants, it's pretty, and the Jets. My God, what a disaster! My producer Dan, who I think you spoke with, has a question for you.
Yeah, I just wonder if you can verify whether or not this is accurate, or if it's true, or if it's real. I don't know if you saw it, and please excuse me if you haven't seen it, and please just say you haven't seen it, and that's all I need. But there's been a document that's been floating around online with the letterhead New Jersey Division of Fire Safety Intelligence Bulletin Fire Threat Task Force recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. Says downed or landed drones should not be approached. Has information about hazardous materials. Response teams should approach the incident as an unknown. Follow established environmental monitoring procedures as such. Request the nearest bomb squad. Be aware that electronic devices, two-way radio systems may malfunction in the media area. This has gained a lot of traction. Patch.com has it. Another radio station's reporting it. Just wondering if you heard anything about that. You've seen the bulletin. Is that true?
I have not seen the bulletin, but if somebody has a copy and can get it to me, I'd love to have it.
I'll get that to you as well, sir.
Okay, well, we will send that off. Mayor, what's your prediction for Sunday's game?
I'm watching the game Sunday at a bar up here with a lot of Steelers fans, and we're going to bring the pain. We're going to bring the pain.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
Well, no, to the Steelers.
The Eagles we're going to run the table.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Just making sure. I thought you were a Birds fan at first. I thought you were saying the Steelers were going to win.
He's going to bring the pain on those guys. Hey, Mayor,
pain to the Steelers.
There you go.
Exactly. We love having you on. We'll send that information to us. And
Thank you so much.
And again, stay in the loop. Let us know any development, anything you see, Mayor.
I will, and think of me in the future. I appreciate it.
We will do it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Have a good Christmas.
Take care now.
Mayor Sam Mars here on Talk Radio 1210. Our friend Nick Sorter, he's a guy first with East Palestine. Then he was in North Carolina with the whole situation with the relief effort. That wasn't much of an effort. Now he's on Twitter, and several people are. Hillsborough Township, there may be a down drone there. So we don't know before the end of the show if we'll get clarification on that and to know what they've seen. Look, you can have copycats. You can have other people putting up drones now because of the ones that are in question. Who knows? But it's out there. I mentioned at the top of the show this guy, Mike DeCaro, who is someone, U.S. Air Force, educated Marion Military Institute. He has taught information warfare, national defense, national intelligence university, outside consultant, Pentagon office for 25 years. He makes the case, Mayor Pete asleep at the switch again, the FAA. He makes the case also that what Murphy could do is use these long-range helicopters to either track or shoot it down over a more uninhabited area and or drop a cargo net over it at some point, which would disable it or capture it. The governor's got to do something here, too. Nancy Mace, I'm looking on Twitter, was on a show today and said that the House Armed Services Committee has not been briefed on the New Jersey drones. I mean, this is the House Armed Services Committee. What the hell do they do all day long? And we've talked about this many times. Wouldn't you think military people, intelligence, et cetera, they would be briefed on this? Why do they think this is no big deal? They don't know that it's not a big deal. Kirby doesn't know that either, telling us yesterday. Well, we don't know what's going on here, but we know you're at no risk. You don't know that. No one knows that. 855-839-1210. You get in. All right. Final of the week. Let's go to what? All right.
Hold the phone. Wow. Look at me.
Stall. I'm at right time. There you go.
Money Melody.
That's right. We're playing for a pair of tickets to see Styx and Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon and Dan Felder at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on August 8th, 2025. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com.
So, Dom, today we're talking on the day of Friday the 13th, superstitions, and where I could do a superstitious person or something like that. No, I took a different route. How about we talk about an actor that starred in Friday the 13th? So, Dom, here's an actor singing a cover song. We want to know who this actor is. I don't want to give much more away because it might be too obvious, but take a listen. We want to know who the actor is singing here.
Down the shore, everything's all right. Me and my baby on a Saturday night. Don't you know all my dreams come true when I'm walking down the street with you. Sing sha-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, not bad. He's known for some stuff, too. I won't give any more clues yet to see.
It's hard to not be too obvious on this,
yeah,
right?
I'll unload on him afterwards. All right, so hit us with that, and you are off to see the great Neil Diamond show. You'll wear, I'm sorry, that was last, the tickets to the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on August 8th. Here's how you get in. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. Hit us with that, and you are off to a great event in August.
You know she thrills me with all her charms. Oh, when I'm wrapped up in my baby's arms.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-909-1822. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debts settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-909-1822. That's 800-909-1822. 800-909-1822.
The continuing rise of the cost of goods and services threatens to erode your retirement future.
Susan Sinoski, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Retirees should be thinking about how much money they have and how long it's going to last. Costs are just skyrocketing. Medical costs, housing, food especially. And when was the last time you ever heard of a tax decrease? And I have to say, I have no fear at all, because my money is safeguarded with crash-proof retirement. And with our crash-proof retirement system, our money is not just stable, but it's actually increasing much more than we had expected. That money is always added to our principal without anybody getting a cut of that. It's just ours. We earn it, it goes into our account, and it continues to grow and multiply. My entire investment for retirement is protected.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the Copperfield Inn on January 22nd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
For the area's finest dining experience with fabulous cuisine, extensive wine list, and waterfront views of the Philly skyline, visit the River Winds Restaurant in West Deptford, New Jersey. Enjoy entrees that feature certified Black Angus steaks and the freshest seafood while overlooking the Delaware River. River Winds can host your next special event. They'll plan your holiday party, family gathering, or corporate meeting in one of their newly renovated waterfront rooms, each with a private deck. For an incredible dining experience or special event, the riverwindsrestaurant.com.
It's officially the merry season, and B101, Philly's official Christmas station, is your home for holiday music. Spinning the biggest and best festive tracks all day long, now through Christmas Day. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Get your holiday fix on the radio at 101.1 FM. Ask your smart speaker to play B101 Philly, or listen on the go with the free Odyssey app.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
It's the Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's right. Let's hear the clue today. Tell us who's covering this song.
Right. Down the shore, everything's alright. Me and my baby on a Saturday night. Don't you know all my dreams come true? When I'm walking down the street.
All right, let's try Jay in Philly on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jay, who is it?
Hey, I would believe that would be part of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yes, the 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon. Every actor in the last, 70, 80 years is within 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon because he's in so many cameo roles with famous people who have been in hundreds of things himself. That's how it works. We had the guys on when they put that out, and it was fabulous how many that they knew almost instantly. If you say an actor, even a relatively obscure actor, they're probably within 2 or 3 degrees of separation from Bacon.
You know, it became so popular that IMDb, the International Movie Database, has a whole feature of this 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Now, I despise him, of course. Yeah. He is a dilettante with Philadelphia and kind of toddles in and thinks he's a real Philadelphian. And
in 2017,
there you go.
Larry Krasner was elected as Philadelphia's district attorney. It was a milestone victory. Here was a reform-minded lawyer taking the reins of one of the city's most influential offices. His goal was to implement progressive policy.
Yeah, so, and I think, I'm trying to remember the gas station where people were killing each other on Broad Street. Is it Broad in Glenmore? I don't think there's a Glenmore, but it's in that area. of North Philly. Yeah, Kevin, let's take a walk there at midnight or something, and we'll see if you want to tell us about this innovation and what Big Larry's doing.
Kevin Bacon stars as Jack in the 1980 film Friday the 13th. Congratulations.
Okay. What's Kevin Bacon? He is a good actor, but I'm trying to think what is his biggest thing. I don't think he's ever won any awards, but Footloose might be what he's most known for. I'm not sure if it's another film. He's been in a number of really clever twist type of films.
The Guardian named Bacon one of the best actors to never receive an Academy Award nomination.
Okay.
But to answer your question, Animal House, Footloose, big one for him, Apollo 13, Mystic River, Frost Nixon, JFK, Few Good Men.
Okay, Apollo 13.
I feel like he's not, the star in too many of those movies you just mentioned.
That's true. He's in there.
He's a good supporting actor.
Yeah, that's what he is. The supporting actor award. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't see him in anything that's really serious, painful, something like that. It fits. All right.
Tremors.
Tremors, okay. All right, so you're a winner and great stuff. You're headed off to the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. All right, several things before we get to our guest. Dan's got a report. Here's what we know. A Fox News outlet, Hillsborough Township. There might be a downed drone. We don't know too much more. Here's what they said.
Yeah, Bianca, I talked to several people who tell us they heard a drone crash somewhere behind where I'm standing. We're working to get that information confirmed with officials. Our chopper has been flying over the area this morning. Here's some video. We're showing you that view from above. We're in a shopping plaza in Hillsborough, just off Route 206. First responders have been here all morning, including Hillsborough Police. A lot of onlookers. I talked to one woman who says her concerns are growing, calling all the recent drone activity very bizarre. She says she heard the drone crash happened overnight here, but she says that she's seen several, what she believes are drones anyway, flying around her home. She says she lives not too far from where we're live right now. Now, we've reported on these drone concerns in New Jersey. Some experts have said the sightings could very well be lawfully manned aircrafts. Today, we're hearing from officials on Staten Island about the same topic. Take a listen.
You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11. If you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it, because we saw it too. And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
Hire that guy, Dan. Who was that guy again?
From Staten Island. I don't know his name exactly. But he makes a great point. I want to underline it because Maisie made the same point. You had 9/11 in Manhattan, and apparently there are drones flying in the airspace that like you would think out of all the airspaces, this would be one of the most heightened, stop stuff from being anywhere near these skyscrapers.
Well, this see something, say something, by the way, is the all-timer. You're not supposed to see certain things or certain groups or profile or do anything suspicious. It just makes for a lot of money spent for these transit organizations to have some actor out there say, if you see something, say something. Not that we're going to do anything about it.
That was Staten Island Borough President Vito Fasola.
Oh, Vito. I know that guy. Vito Fasola. If you see something, don't worry about it. Christmas is coming. Glad he got it said. Murphy's the guy that's got to make the play. What are the odds on that? Now, I was thinking this whole thing, what would Josh Shapiro do? Would Josh Shapiro just sit there and let this go on? To his credit, I'm thinking he might not. Now, he couldn't put the slow-motion camera like when they were patching over 95, but I think he would send those helicopters to try to get a follow from these drones. I think he would do that. Murphy, I don't think he will.
So just a visual. I hope to pull it, and maybe during the break I'll run it on our youtube.com/@1210WPHT of the flyover. They fly over the parking lot, and there's hazmat trucks, fire trucks, there's all that. But there's no drone. There's no drone there in the parking lot, but they zoom in on what looks like a wet spot in the shape of the drone that's there on the ground. So I don't know, did they take the drone away? Or?
Well, here's the thing. It happened overnight, and we only heard about it recently during my show that I started to see Nick Sorter and others reporting this. So it's kind of surprising that we haven't seen more attention paid to it. good for the people there on the ground reporting this and the Manhattan president for what he said. So I would assume they have it now, but who has it? Here we go. And they wonder, then they start, why is there conspiracy and all that? Well, by happenstance, coming up in a couple minutes is the guy, I got to go back and reread it over the Christmas holidays, who wrote the definitive book, Dan, Gerald Posner, brilliant writer, national figure. I saw an article he wrote, Republicans can save women's sports, and they can do it pretty quickly, and it's something they ought to focus on. You know that's happening here statewide, those bills on fairness in women's sports. And Shapiro is going to have to sign one. It's starting in the Senate. He's going to have to either sign one or tell us why he's not signing it. Gerald Posner, writing in the Wall Street Journal, says Republicans can do this at the national level, that males can't play on female teams. But I'm also going to ask him, his most recent book is about Big Pharma, and I'm going to ask him about the drones and the Kennedy assassination. He's the guy that said, and I think proved very clearly, that Lee Harvey Oswald did it. And I just always come back to, if you ever have a chance, you're in Dallas, you see the museum in the former book depository, and you stand right behind, the chair is there, the whole thing, it's in plexiglass. You can see that somebody who's a really good shot like Oswald would be able to do it. I think you would. I think this is where conspiracy and then social media, I think this is the thing that propelled. There have been, 250, 300, 400 books on this in great detail.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT, Dom. Right now, we're running the feed of the chopper above this parking lot out there in Hillsborough. And if you're looking at that, you can see them kind of zooming in on that wet spot, the aforementioned wet spot I mentioned earlier. But if you want to see that, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. And while you're there, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, do that, please, because we bring you a lot of stuff each day that really enhances what you're listening to and stuff that you may not see anywhere else. All right, in our caller of the year, 3 o'clock is the deadline, and it's pretty close. The last I looked on Twitter, Dan, it was a 13-point gap. Joe of Exton, or 12 or 13,
yep, that's right,
leading, over Bill of Montco. Pretty close. You still have a chance if you want to vote for Bill of Bucks County over Joe or Joe. You can do that at Dom Show 1210. We'll give you the winner. And we'll give you the next matchup. And next week, we'll have the caller of the year. Earl has dropped out, if you remember that, earlier in the week. So Scott of Mount Laurel and Robert of Ben Salem, two of the heavyweights, going after each other. I wish Carmen had called in sooner. Definitely, we'd put her in the top 12. A few calls anyhow. Come on, Carmen. People today still tell me, well, what about Carmen? She only called in once that I know of. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in, hit us with that ritual or superstition this Friday the 13th. We'll talk with Gerald Posner next here on Talk Radio 1210. Every Friday night, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, is giving all customers a bigger payout on select NBA first bets. First bets let you get in on the action from the opening tip. You can bet on things like who'll score the first basket, which team will be the first to 15 points, and so much more. And best of all, you don't have to wait the whole game to see if you won. Just look for Friday First in the FanDuel app to find your profit boost. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom to claim that Friday First profit boost. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Max wager amount applies. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
The cold air mass will remain in place through the weekend. It'll be partly sunny today and less windy, high of around 38. Very cold again tonight, mostly clear, low 22 for the city and teens in the coldest suburbs. And Saturday, expect plenty of sunshine, still a high temperature well below average at 38.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your rating isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Westchester University and Pittman, New Jersey in February.
It was fabulous. It was the most joyful night I have experienced in a long time.
The Frank Sinatra guy, I really liked him.
His imitation of the Bee Gees.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm and the story of Philly sports through music. Westchester University on February 21st and the Broadway Theater in Pittman, New Jersey on February 22nd. Tickets to a Conklin show make great holiday gifts. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Steel holiday savings are here. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. You know, it's strange business talk radio. One of the guys over the years I've interviewed that I admire the most, Gerald Posner, just happened to have a column the other day right in the center of the stuff that we're talking about now post the election. Headline in the Wall Street Journal, Republicans can save women's sports. Wanted to talk with him about that, but one of his most recent books is about Big Pharma, RFK Jr. How will that play out? Let's go to Gerald Posner here on Talk Radio 1210. Gerald, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us.
Dom, great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I didn't know your interest in this column in the Wall Street Journal, but you make a great point that everything should quickly point toward this at the state level, Gerald. We're doing it here. They had a bill in 2022 that the previous governor in Pennsylvania vetoed, but you know about the aspirations of Josh Shapiro.
Right.
I don't think he can veto that if it gets to him, and there's a good chance it's going to. Tell us what you wrote about in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I think you're right that Shapiro will not veto that bill. And look at here in Florida where I live, we also have state protections. But what we need is a federal protection. And look, there's plenty for the incoming Trump administration to have to deal with between the border, and what's happening in the Middle East and in Ukraine and with inflation. I understand all of that, but this should be low-hanging fruit. And what I mean by that is the Biden administration made a change to Title IX, which is the landmark law that was passed to sort of protect and create a separate category for women's sports. The Biden administration changed it to this past summer to say that instead of being defined by sex, it would be defined by gender identification. So if a man like Leah Thompson, who was 500th in male sports and then became an NCAA champion by switching over to women, if men decide to compete in women's sports, they can do it under the new Title IX rules that Biden has. That destroys women's sports. So all I'm asking for is for the Trump administration to have a vote on removing that language and restoring the original language, which says sex. It'll pass in the House. We've got the majority. Then the question's the Senate. Will the Democrats filibuster it? Like, you ask about Shapiro, what will he do on that bill? Will the Democratic senators in the 10 states that Trump won, in which they got reelected, stand fast and refuse to do that? Possibly, and then Trump can do an executive order, but it would be nice to see Congress pass it.
I couldn't agree more. Sometimes the political thing and the right thing come together. So one of your most recent books, Pharma, Greed, Lies, and the Poisoning of America. We have RFK Jr. on the horizon. I think he's got better than a 50-50 chance. It'll be tight to get through. What are your thoughts? Have you interviewed him over the years? Have you been in contact some way or another? I'm guessing you might have. What kind of reform can he push through? What would you like to see?
Well, believe it or not, I haven't been in contact with him, but I've been in contact with just about everybody around him who knows him, likes him, has been there. I think the reason that we've never been in touch is because we have a difference of opinion on a matter very, very personal to him, which is the assassination of his father and his uncle. I wrote a book where I thought that Oswald had killed JFK, and RFK believes that it was the CIA, and that's fine. We will get to the truth. We'll get all those files out. But I think that's probably why we didn't. But in terms of his nomination, I agree with you that I think the odds are in his favor that he will get approved. He will be a real disruptor, and I mean disruptor in a good way. If he's confirmed, it will be the end of direct-to-consumer advertising. The billions of dollars that the drug companies spend on all these ads on television to try to get consumers to go in and ask their doctors for prescription drugs, that will end. I think it will also be the end of liability protection for pharmaceutical companies on vaccines, something that they should never have had in the first place. And I think he will work very, very hard to stop the outsized influence over the drug approval process at the FDA by the pharma companies. And I recently saw, Dom, an article in Stat, which is this Boston Globe sort of medical journal that gets printed, a story that said the pharma industry is not lobbying against RFK's nomination for the top health role. That's just bull. I talked to people that I'd interviewed for my pharma book, and they're horrified at the idea of him getting in because they understand he's not going to be a compliant health secretary.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now back to RFK and the difference over the Kennedy assassination. You kind of diminished here. Your book is the seminal book to me on this whole thing, and I carry it forward almost like a Bible because we've gone conspiracy crazy. And I think the Kennedy assassination was the first where there became an industry, and then with social media, it moved forward. When did you, I forget when you wrote the book. When was it published?
93. 93, on the 30th anniversary. So it's hard to imagine. If you had said to me in 1993 that 31 years later we'd still be debating it, I would have said to you, no, I don't think so. So, it's had a life of its own. And in terms of the difference, yes, I do think that the historical reality of what happened is set forth in that book and has been there for a while with a lot of mistakes and cover up by the government of its own bureaucratic ineptitude, the CIA and FBI, but that Lee Oswald managed as a 24-year-old sociopath to pull off that assassination those years ago. When it comes to Bobby Kennedy, I understand it's the family. It's a family issue. I wrote a book about the King assassination. The King family, some of them, Dexter King, his son, had actually gone into the assassin, James Earl Ray, shook his hand and said, we believe that you're innocent. So families deal with this not just in terms of analyzing it as lawyers and investigative reporters, but there's all this emotional material, and it's hard to differentiate that sometimes. But that being said, I'm 100% behind his effort and that of Donald Trump. Let's get all the last few thousand files that are still sealed at the National Archives out. Let everybody, the historians, investigators, the Kennedys, everybody else look at them. I think the conclusion will be the same as what I said in case closed, but let's get all the files out.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I get you hit upon the central point that I've always talked about. It's got to be incredibly hard to see someone like Oswald take out someone of this power and grandeur. Same thing with King. So immediately we think somebody, some loser like that, just couldn't have killed a great man.
That's right. I mean, it's the same thing as in the attempted Trump assassinations. If, thank goodness that they were unsuccessful. If Crooks, the kid in the first one, and he was literally a kid, who was firing at him, had been successful, we'd all be hunting to find out if there was much more to it than just him as a shooter, because what people get confused with is they think that when I say that I believe that the evidence, all the credible evidence, overwhelmingly establishes Lee Harvey Oswald as the only assassin, they think I'm also saying there were no conspiracies against Jack Kennedy to kill him. And that's not what I'm saying at all. I believe that any president at any time, whether you're talking about Clinton, Obama, Trump, go down the list, there's some group sitting around somewhere, a group of Islamists, some people who don't like what you're doing in another country or whatever, who are talking about killing that president. With Jack Kennedy, there were groups that absolutely hated him. The Cuban exiles, who, when he failed to support them on their reinvasion of Cuba at the Bay of Pigs, they thought he was a traitor. There were people in the CIA who were disgruntled over the fact that he was restricting their power. The Soviets were up in arms about him because he had, made them look weak over the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. So there were plenty of people that wanted him dead. Even the mobsters who didn't like what Bobby Kennedy, his brother, was doing as Attorney General to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could walk in tomorrow with a tape recording of a group of people, some mafia chieftains sitting around saying, let's get rid of that no-good SOB president. But the key, I've always said, is to tie Oswald into those people who wanted him dead. And that's where the evidence isn't there. So Oswald beat all the conspirators, essentially, to Kennedy. They would have pinned a medal on him, but he wasn't their boy.
So well put. I got to go back over the weekend, reread the book. I mean, that's how big of a fan I am of your work and that over the years. What's the next project for you?
It's a great question, Dom. I'm running into some difficulty of what I call, I hate the word woke because it's overused, but in pitching projects now to publishers, one of them is about sort of the money pipeline in the transgender industry, and another is about how the origins of Palestinian terrorism was born from Nazi stolen loot in a group of Nazis. But I seem to be having trouble with publishers who say now they want a book that ticks a whole bunch of boxes for them. And from my work, that's not what I do. So I'll let you know soon when I find a publisher with some spine on one of those two subjects.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a great Christmas. And again, please, we'd love to talk with you anytime.
Thanks so much. Have a great Christmas. And I'll be looking forward to see what Josh Shapiro does on that bill.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gerald Posner here on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Dan, I got to get a copy of that for you for Christmas. You don't have any real stake in that. I mean, you're more a conspiracy of recent vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still love looking into it and all that because I feel like that's the grandfather of what's become the conspiracy theory kind of movement or whatever. But
well, you said the major thing there, which is how could this ultimate loser, take out this great man, this grandiose figure, in this manner? And I think he laid it out really well. But I would tell everybody, visit that museum in Dallas if you ever happen to be in Dallas. I think you'll love it. A lot of crazies around Dealey Plaza, though. Oh, my God. You will not. They all have car batteries or truck batteries or something to show films to keep the battery going.
Really?
They're all there. Carmen in Morristown. I got to take this call here. All right, guys, calm down. On Talk Radio 1210 on the side question. Hey, Carmen, good afternoon. What do you have today?
Wait a minute, I got to take my castanets off my fingers. I was practicing while you were talking with the sexiest man on TV in the 80s and 90s, Gerald Posner.
Wow.
Yes, he was. He was intelligent and good-looking.
Yeah, he is.
And you could understand what he was saying, too. He made sense.
Well put. So what's your ritual or superstition, Carmen?
The scissors on the bed if you by any chance set any scissors on your bed, they will destroy your dreams. They will just cut them into little pieces and throw them into the air.
Now, is that a Latino superstition?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know
that came from my great-grandmother, who was from Puerto Rico.
Very nice. Thank you, Carmen. Have a great weekend.
Was there an instance where Carmen was just throwing scissors on the bed? And
Castanets on. Dan, we got to get to the bottom of it. You're the developer of these unusual cars. Castanets on now. She's listening. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't had a castanet call
I don't even know
in
what that
years.
is. So
I think there are things that make noise on your, you put on your fingers.
Oh,
But
yes.
Yeah,
the little clickers, yeah.
Little clickers, yeah. All right, you gave us the Polish ritual or superstition. She gave us a Puerto Rican
you don't want your
one.
money to walk away.
Yeah. All right.
So, Dom, big news. Let me get this going.
Yes.
1 sec.
All right.
Because I got to tell you, there's only 9 minutes left. Head on over to Dom Show 1210 to cast your vote. Because right now in the second round of the Caller of the Year competition, you got Bill of Bucks going against Joe of Exton. 8 minutes left now at Dom Show 1210. Cast your vote. Joe of Exton, Dom, 58.5% to Bill of Bucks, 41.5%. Unless something drastically changes, it looks like Joe of Exton might be the third in our Final Four.
All right. We have the lightning round next, and we'll give you the conclusion of the Caller of the Year and give you the next match up at 855-839-1210. That's how you get in.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-291-1305. That's 800-291-1305. 800-291-1305.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. If you haven't been to Cape May during the holidays, you are missing out. They go all out for the holidays. Unbelievable decorations, and it's a beautiful time to visit my happy place, the Grand Hotel in Cape May, New Jersey. Make the greatest memories with your family this holiday and book a holiday season family splash package. When you stay multiple nights, you will save up to 20% off the regular room rates, and breakfast is included at Hemingway's restaurant. The kids will love the gigantic indoor heated swimming pool and the arcade, and I know we're all looking forward to a great 2025. Book your grand New Year's Eve package and ring in the new year overlooking the ocean on the 5th floor ballroom, where you'll enjoy a 5-hour premium open bar, hors d'oeuvres, and a surf and turf dinner, and then nonstop dancing all night. Champagne toast at midnight. Unbelievable. Just go to grandhotelcapemay.com for all the details. Always book directly with them for the best rates and book your stay today before they sell out. grandhotelcapemay.com. Oh, and mark your calendar, December 20th, our next live show, grandhotelcapemay.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos? Starting now, radio listeners get access to our best last-minute holiday deals from Legacy Box. Get your family's videotapes converted for just $9 and photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents each, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of old media. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media. It's the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season. Take advantage of this exclusive last-minute holiday offer from Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
Hey, Ambler. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Follow us anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
And that's right, Dom's Lightning Round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. And they always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, let's go very quickly to Ron in Montgomeryville. Give us that ritual or superstition. Ron, what's that ritual or superstition?
Superstition's gone on since 1967. I never miss a day, no matter where I'm going. 1967, I was shot in the butt when I was in the service. I went to the medic. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said to me, "Oh, you're very lucky. You were wearing your undershorts are on inside out." And I didn't know what that meant, and I just wanted to get out of there. But I had to say to him, "What are you talking about? Why am I lucky?" He says, "Because your shorts were on inside out." And I walked out, and I never gave it a thought until like an hour and a half later. I said, "Well, from here on out, for the rest of my life, I'm wearing my shorts inside out." And they're briefs, not boxes.
So what's the reason?
I wear them inside out too, but I never got shot in the ass. So.
Oh my God! This Henry, jump in. Remember I told you the secret.
I just have OCD and I don't like seams, so
I got you.
Well,
all right, thank you, Ron.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's times when a doctor or a nurse would say, "Your shorts are on inside out." I'll say, "I know," and I won't say anything else.
All right.
Say it with pride there.
That is interesting. All right, it's time to decide. Henry, what do you say here?
I think that's the winner right there. You're
I think it's pretty good, too.
Your boxers inside
and
out
Dan
for
wears
50
his
years.
for no reason. My God. Dan.
I'm only going on 15 years myself, not 50. Dom, I'm going with Carmen and her...
scissors?
Yeah, the scissors on the bed.
I love Carmen. I hope she calls it, but I got to go with the underwear thing here, and you saying it too. That's winning. That's what the call's all about. I got to go to Henry on this one. All right, Dan, let's get the winner of the week.
Yeah, Dom, so Monday we asked for songs you're not to play at weddings. Our Do Not Playlist, Joe of Columbus said, "You're having my baby." Tuesday, disgrace to your heritage. Carmen took Tuesday's win by saying AOC is a disgrace to all Puerto Ricans. Wednesday, and she is herself, I want to say that. I'm not saying that myself. Wednesday gets a bad reputation when it shouldn't. Scott and Mount Laurel called in with Sam Hinkie. Fantastic answer there, Scott. Thursday, a song to describe the drone situation. Earl of Tacony took the day with Eye in the Sky. And then you just heard our answer today, Dom, of what do we go with?
Ron in Montgomery.
Ron in Montgomery.
Thank you. I didn't have his name. Ron in Montgomery with his inside-out underwear. So, Dom, they all get thrown in the hat now. I got my numbers listed for the day of the week. Number 2. Oh, there we go. Carmen of Morristown. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Carmen. Calling on Monday to accept. People love it. It's amazing. Castanets one today. All right, another great week. And Dan, do we have a finale in a big match, Joe of Exton against Bill of Bucks?
Yes, it is settled at Dom Show 1210 all week. We're doing our Dom Show Caller of the Year. Joe of Exton advances into the last 4 contestants for ours, and we got one more going over the weekend. We got Leslie and Bryn Mawr taking on Joe of Columbus.
Oh, man, this is going to be a big one.
And we're going to leave this one, Dom, up until the show start on Monday. So you got all weekend to vote. Get over to at Dom Show 1210 and go...
Stuff those ballot boxes.
Yeah, this could be a really close one. This is 2 of our favorites.
Go follow. There you go.
Follow. At Joe of Columbus and Leslie, at Dom Show 1210, at Dom Show 1210. All right, thanks to everybody this week who participated. The drone story is not going away. We'll see. We sent a lot of stuff to the mayor. Does he get Murphy's ear? By the way, a guy said to me, well, Josh Shapiro's not doing anything. There's a big difference. Jersey is the center of this. I think Shapiro would do something, but we'll noodle that over the weekend. Rich Zioli's next here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sunday